Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to USA International Speedway XCAL Webshop Series 2026 Round 3. USA International Speedway, as I just mentioned, it's going to get good here tonight. First short track race of the season, if you want to call it that. And I got a feeling we're going to have a hell of a lot of beef here tonight for Round 3. You're going to see it all live here on MotorMouth Broadcasting. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, my good buddy, Hamish Monroe out there with me. He actually, well, out there with me. Yeah, but he's all the way over in Australia. But anyway, we'll be producing and co-commentating with me tonight. Hamish, buddy, how the hell are you? It's been a long week. We're getting ready to watch some very, very interesting racing and a whole lot of storylines to follow with it.
Oh, a heap of storylines to follow with it, Jake. It's great to be here once again, here with the XCAL Webshop Series, here for 2026 Round 3. And we're into now what I would claim is the home terrain of a street stock car, short track racing. You know, you run rookie street stocks. Where are you running them, Jake? Running them at short tracks, because you can just whip them into any corner. I think you mentioned we're going to have beef tonight. I think, Jake, we are going to have some prime rib roast beef out there for us, because I think we're going to get into some wrecks, and then we're going to get into some cautions, and I think that man in Mr. Joe Campbell is going to get him some on King Matthew the Bear this evening. I think he's going to get his revenge. He got it last week against Jared Mogard. I think this week is the time for him to get it on to Mr. King Matthew the Bear, as we'll hear now from Joe Campbell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of beef happened last week, and I'm like you, Hamish. Odds are we're going to have a shitload of beef here this evening. Joe Campbell up here with us, leading off right here for our pre-race promos, rather. And Joe, buddy, we watched you. I mean, granted, this will be the first time we've actually heard you talk because you are the silent Joe Campbell in the Discord, which is kind of blowing my mind a little bit, to be honest with you. But last week at Rockingham, you got back Jared Mogard. Is there a possibility that maybe, just maybe, we're going to go after Matthew Bear as well?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of bad blood between Bear and I in the past. Obviously, right now, I got to behave myself. I'm on probation, and the littlest thing could get me suspended. So you probably won't see anything going on my side for, at least a few weeks. And we'll see where Bear takes it in the meantime. But people are gonna know this year I'm not playing around. I've had it done with the past. When you mess with me, I'm gonna deal with it, and we'll figure it out.
I don't understand that, though, Joe. I mean, why would they put you on probation when all you did was get revenge? I mean, that's kind of screwed up, at least in my opinion. It's just like it is in school. The guy that starts it, he never really gets his ass in trouble. It's always the guy that finishes it is always the one that kind of gets tore up out of it. I mean, I don't understand why the hell they would end up putting you on probation. It's bullshit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's I knew it would happen. It's intentional contact. It's XCal's rules. I love the league, but some of the rules, I don't agree with them all. But hey, can't always agree with everything in the world, So I just deal with it and
deal with it, move on, I guess you could say. Well, but from what we're seeing, that this is an interview. Apparently we're bringing you up here. There's something that I'm assuming you're wanting to holler at us about, because this is going to be the interview that XCal Nation has been waiting for. Joe, what's the deal?
Hey, I'm ready to race. Like I said, we'll see what happens. Not gonna hang myself out there, I got to keep a little bit of suspense for everybody. Keep them wondering, keep them watching and waiting.
Oh, Joe, I've got some words for you before tonight's race as well. Screw probation. Get you some on King Matthew the Bear. Get you some, Joe.
Oh, it will probably happen before the year's out, but like I said, I don't want suspension, so I play my card. I play my cards safely. I want to stay racing.
I look at it. I can look at it this way, Joe. Steve Austin was arrested multiple times on television during the late 90s. And he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Get you some.
Well, we'll see. You guys just make sure you keep your eyes out.
Oh, we'll see. Joe Campbell, thank you so much. Right. We'll see if he gets himself.
Thank you guys.
Hey, thank you.
Really appreciate you guys broadcasting. I love your broadcast. It's been great to watch every week. And I hope you guys are around for the long term. And like I said, just keep your eyes out.
Oh, we're going to be keeping them peeled. We're going to go to the optometrist just to make sure we see him correctly. Joe Campbell in the 63 car, out of here now. And I heed the words that I say there, Jake, of screw the probation. Obviously, I am one for following the rules, right? And I am one for, rule sets are rule sets. You make rules to follow them. But in the position of Joe Campbell and the fan favorite that he is becoming for yourself and I, get you some.
I agree with you 100%. Get you some as well. And another driver, obviously, that, me personally, I'm a little bit of a fan favorite of right here is David Malgi. And, David coming into this, obviously, tried to get you in here a couple times. Granted, it might have been our asses. It might have been where we screwed up one way or another. We don't know. Hell, it could be anybody at this point. It could be Hamish's fault. Hell, fuck it. I'll blame Hamish. I don't give a shit. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Is that beef?
You're do what? Yeah, a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Maybe up there in the broadcast booth. Why not? Why? Do you want some beef as well?
Nah. I ain't got no beef right now. We'll see by the end of the race.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, but you're trying to go for Rookie of the Year in 2026. You're sitting third in the standings. What's the mindset out of all that right there? Trying to go for Rookie of the Year this season, Dave.
Okay, so last season when I got into this deal with J-Dog, I was only supposed to run a very limited schedule. And then next thing you know, my work schedule worked out. So I got a lot of races under my belt. Really enjoyed it. And then I, for whatever reason, I have no idea why I was doing it, but I was trolling through the rule book, and I saw this deal with the 20 races and the Rookie of the Year stuff. And I was like, well, wait a minute, how many races do I have? And I looked at my stats, and there was like 3 races left in the season. I tried to do some quick math, and I was like, well, I hate the Legends Oval, so I'll miss that. And next thing you know, I got 19 races at the end of the season. So I was like, yep, we'll go for the Rookie of the Year next year, because at that point, Gerard Lawrence had it wrapped up, and I wasn't even planning on making a run for it last year with the limited schedule and everything. So that's where we ended up this year.
Well,
David, you got anything for him right here?
Well, I was going to say that you've been very impressive, obviously, over the first few rounds this season already, which has been great to see. And there's been already close battles between you and some of the other rookies out there vying for this Rookie of the Year placement. Now, we know, obviously, you've kind of just been laying under the radar a little bit, at the early part of this season. Is that going to be a part of your run at Rookie of the Year this year? Just trying to maybe be a bit more consistent than more showmanistic, I suppose we could, or showmanshipistic, if that's a word, where you're just trying to pick off
that word.
Yeah, like, consistent positioning, trying to stay out of trouble, and just getting good points on the board week in and week out.
Yeah, I'm not fast. I'm not the fastest driver out here by far. So I can put on a show, and it'll come with the little flashes of glamour there, here and there. But I'm steady Eddie and trying to just keep it together and finish solid each week. This week, I have no idea what's going to happen because I don't have any speed, and I just threw everything I could at it for a setup, and we'll see what happens.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if you can keep it out of the wall, David. But
yeah,
we appreciate you coming and have a quick conversation with us here in pre-race. We'll let you get ready for what's to come. Best of luck tonight, and we look forward to seeing how you go.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all doing this broadcast stuff, and looking good so far. So great relationship, and have a good night. We'll put on a good show for you.
No worries. Thanks so much. Dave Malgi there. Jake. And as we set ourselves up for the starting grid, it's my fault, here this evening, we've got Octavio Rondoletto once again on the pole with Stephen Rex alongside him on the front row.
Yeah, I mean, right there behind him, you see J-Dog Seams, Ryan Seams, family members lined up right there behind him with Jack McKee, Richie Joplin back there. Real quick, before we get to row 4, showmanistic. It's a fucking word. Like, really, it is a real word, Hamish. I thought, honestly, I thought you were just making, I thought you were just making stuff up, but seriously, it's there. There's Joe Campbell back there sitting in the P12 spot. You go all the way right there. There is David Malgi. There is Matthew Bear. Back there in the back, the 14 drivers going to get ready to lock and load and rock and roll, however you want to look at it, here tonight at USA International Speedway. Rondoletto, the one up there on the front row, if this is your first race with us, with XCAL here on MotorMouth Broadcasting, real quick, hit the like and subscribe button. Keep up with everything going on here on MotorMouth Broadcasting. Second, where the hell have you been? You missed some seriously crazy stuff. 2 straight weeks, we've had beef, more or less. I mean, maybe not beef at Charlotte, but we damn sure had beef last week at Rockingham with Rondoletto and Bear.
It was a Philly cheesesteak level of beef last week, Jake. I mean, it was Rondoletto and Matt Bear damn near got in an absolute fist fight in pit lane last week.
Close enough. Yeah.
If we were actually at Rockingham, I think there would have been handcuffs and blues and twos for sure, because I think both of those guys would have gotten into it with each other, and very likely one of them would have ended up on the floor, and one of them in the penalty box off the back of that. So big beef. We look forward to seeing how this beef progresses tonight, but they're at opposite ends of the circuit. We'll see if anyone gets caught in the crosshairs between them.
I'll say this, Hamish. I mean, it was and would have, could have been a 100% grade A shitstorm last week at Rockingham. And how's it going to turn out here tonight? Round 3, XCAL Webshop Series 2026, USA International Speedway on MotorMouth Broadcasting. Thank you very much to everybody joining. We're ready to rock and roll. Rondoletto, Stephen T-Rex down there up on the top side, rather. J-Dog, Ryan, Richie Joplin. All of them working their way around the short track. 275 laps here tonight at USA International Speedway.
At 275 laps, we're already on to lap 2 of 275, so we're 275th of the way there. Octavio Rondoletto, though, we know he's got good pace. We know Stephen Rex got good pace as well. Both of them have been at the front end of town all season long. I've been very impressed by J-Dog Seams already this season too, Jake. He's been sneakily hanging around the front end majority of the first couple of rounds here, and majority of those races in terms of the length and span of those races as Rex gets loose off of turn 2, and he's now going to drop way down the order. That gives good gap up to Rondoletto. I'm going to give you a prediction here, Jake. I think J-Dog's going to win a race this season. I don't know when and I don't know how, but I think that car's going to get a top-level spot at one of these races here in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen here tonight, Hamish. I mean, already up there, up at the front, not really doing anything crazy. The king, self-proclaimed king, Matthew Bear Sr., back there in the 10th spot. He's already up 4 spots. Remember, starting dead last in the field out of the 14 drivers. Has worked his way up here into the top 10 and tried to slowly creep back up here and try to get up here at the front. What will happen when he catches Rondoletto? Will he end up spinning his ass out, or will Rondoletto say, screw you, I'll spin you out back? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Like you said earlier, Hamish, they're on 2 completely different ends of the spectrum. Only time will tell, because eventually they're going to get around one another. It's only going to be a matter of time as to who does what once they get there.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, who does what, where do they end up as well, and who's going to sit in the correct position in terms of the pressure gain and how they withstand that pressure too across obviously the next 270 odd laps.
Be very interesting to see how that ends up working out. Rondoletto already still out there to the lead. And, you know, really, this is one of those old school short track feels. You know, if if I may, right here, Hamish, because you don't really see everybody trying to jump up to the top, work the high side tickler line, Kyle Strickler line. Well, you know what? I guess I could say it here on this particular broadcast, the high side French tickler line, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But you don't see a whole lot of people up on that top side. Most of the time, they're down in the cellar or Grandpappy House Moonshine from Granny down on that yellow line. Short track racing at its finest. Low lane's the way to go, but Hamish, you know damn well, you've seen it numerous times, and so have I. The faster cars that's behind some of these guys that are slow right there on the bottom, it's just it's literally an invitation to just drive right up there, hit them in the ass, and knock them up the racetrack.
Well, that's right, and it's only going to take a small bump, mid-apex of the corner to unsettle them. Even a small bump on entry as well, as Jack McKee looks to go down the inside now of Ryan Seams. Cody Rogers too. He was very impressive in his first round only a few weeks ago at Charlotte. Missed last week's race as he was away, but Cody has been very impressive already in the first part of this season, as has Jack McKee as well. But Seams is now having to lick his wounds and pick up the pieces here, as Rex is trying to do the same. He's trying to fight his way through this field at this stage. One thing I will say is, though, think about this: the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the reason I mention that is, well, of course, Matt Bear and Octavio Rondeletto, these guys do not like each other. These guys are, let's be real, they are heavy rivals, heavy enemies out there. We already mentioned how they got into it last week. Where may Joe Campbell have a place to play in this at some point this season? Because if you think about it, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, does that mean then that he may help Octavio Rondeletto at some point beat Matt Bear again? Could he possibly help him defeat him once again by, I don't know, making sure that Matt ends up in pit lane? I mean, that's going to be the decision of Joe Campbell, but could that be the case? Could there be a little, this will help you, this will help me sort of friendship happening?
I mean, it very much could, honestly, Hamish, because, you never know. You never know. There was an old saying, it was a great saying, that was obviously by Mike Joy, and granted, I may fuck up the quotation on it, but you know what, just deal with it. But it was always, you can pick your friends, and you can pick how you want to, or you can plan out how you want a race to start, but then they drop, you can plan out how you want a race to go, then they drop the green flag. Then that's when the script literally goes out the door, and you have no idea what's going to happen. You're just along for the ride just like everybody else. You try to go by that plan, but at the same time, you don't know what's going to happen. If a caution comes out, if somebody comes up there. And the reason I bring that up is the simple fact of, like you said, Joe Campbell. Will he end up trying to help Rondeletto and just hold up Bear, to try to make that happen? Or will he just straight up spit his ass out? Now, he's on probation, so odds are he's not just going to straight up fuck his world up. But I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, if Bear gets up there in the second spot, him and Rondeletto is going for the lead, I would not be surprised to see Joe Campbell just absolutely put the block on him 9 ways to Sunday and hold him up. As you see Jack McKee and Cody Rogers working their way around J-Dog Seams.
Yeah, I wonder, obviously it's, okay, well then, if you're in Joe's position, let's find the loophole in the rules where I'm not going to get absolutely plastered because I have, halted him or hindered him in some way. And I think you said it right there, Jake. Block him. If he hits you, that's his fault. It's not your fault. Not your fault if you get hit from somebody else coming up behind you. I mean, that's maybe the thought process of Joe Campbell going forward. And I suppose this will be a continuing storyline across the next, obviously few weeks and months that we're racing here in XCAL. But, at some point too, you've also got to focus your way forward and focus on your championship as well. You can't really just hold these grudges. And I think what Joe was getting at earlier, especially with the fact that he is on probation, just get back to focusing and back to basics and back to just trying to get some good positions on the road, try and get some good results on the road as well. And not make this a revenge tour, but make it an avenge tour. Avenge yourself for what happened in round one. Avenge yourself for the positions that you found yourself in the first 2 rounds, and try and make an improvement. And I think that may be the thought process of Joe Campbell for the moment. And if he gets the chance to get after Matt Bear, Well, you bet your bippy that he is going to go straight after him, and he is going to plant him straight in the wall at some point in this season. I doubt it's going to be in the next few weeks, though, since he is on that probation. But again, Jake, yeah, just get back to basics and focus on your racing again. Do it do it for the original reason that we all did it. Do it because it's fun. As we can also see too, and everyone's pushing on once again. Obviously, J-Dog's tucked up nicely behind Cody Rogers, Jack McKee as well, as everyone has settled themselves back in here on the road. And everyone is pushing along throughout the rest of this race too. Richie Joplin, we haven't seen him this season thus far, I don't believe, although it's Richie Joplin, it's also Charles Joplin as well. As Mr. Reeves is back with us once again. Quickly dipped out of the room there for a second. Did good old Jake?
Yeah. I mean, well, you run into, situations like that when you got a 6-month-old son, you got to put him to bed. Folks, if you ever was wondering over the past 2 weeks why there was an issue of why you may just hear Hamish just ramble on, and provide good feedback or whatever, but at the same time, you don't hear me for about 2 minutes straight. I'm putting my son to bed. You don't like it? Kiss my ass. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, literally. I mean, Hamish, I'm just going to be honest with the people out there. I mean, it's my son. I put him to bed every night for the past 6 months. So, but after that, I'm right here with you all the way to the ending credits. So, Octavio Rondeau, I mean, honestly, Hamish, that whole 2 minutes I was gone, it really doesn't look like a whole lot changed from what I'm seeing right here, as far as the leaderboard and from what we're seeing out there on the racetrack.
No, it's kind of just been slow and steady wins the race at this point. I mean, we're nearly a tenth of the way through this race, just about. But I think where we're really going to see this race shift is going to be not only around pit road and possibility of pit road penalties coming our way too, but also the differential on tyre wear and how long these guys are going to push the tyres for. And I think that's when we're going to get into some issues. And just maybe if the level of desperation goes up as well. If you can force your opponent behind you to have up their level of desperation, that could obviously also lead to some incidents happening out here and changing the way the race is going as Joplin looks to go up the inside of seams now. Ryan, great one-lap pace in qualifying, but hasn't managed to put it together here tonight in terms of a quality start to this race. It's already down 3 positions into P7.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to be a big deal for Ryan to try to fight back up here, get back up here with, with J-Dog and try to make a little something happen. Richie Joplin right there sitting in the 89, trying to hold him up ever much as possible. And Hamish, I'll ask you this question. When is there a point in time, and I think you know where I'm going to go with this, but when is the point in time to where you ride behind somebody? How long do you just ride behind them before you finally say, you know what, piss on this? I'm just gonna hit them. I'm gonna knock them up the track, or I'm gonna spin them out, or what have you, because somebody or because they're holding you up. How long does it take before you finally just say the hell with it and just get them out of the way?
Oh, I think it's a dependent factor on how aggressively they're blocking, if they are blocking you, or how hard they're making it for you. Obviously, the more aggressive they're blocking, the more annoying it's going to be. So it's, less laps are going to be happening. So I'd say maybe a minimum 10. And if they're still holding me up after 10 really, really aggressively, then I may just give them a little bump and say, hey, would you mind moving out of my way, please? We can drag each other forward. If they're lightly blocking and I'm just struggling to get past, I'm either going to just wait it out until around about the pit stops, and if they haven't come in, I'm going to come in before them and try and undercut them. Other than that, I think it's more or less that it's dependent on how aggressive they're being, and that style of driver you are as well. If you're an aggressive driver, and it may only take you 3 laps to get to a full rage and ready to bump them up the track, but I think that sometimes if someone's being over aggressive or they're being annoying, Jake. It's just do a half little dive. Put your car somewhere where they're not expecting it to be, and if they turn in, well, they've turned in on your nose and they're gone. And if they leave your room, where you got an opportunity to come past them.
I'll go ahead and I'll basically say what everybody else is wanting to hear. So I'll go ahead and say it like this. You catch them. If you catch them, you give them one bump. One bump, let them know you're there. 2 bumps, they're here. Better get out of the way. 3rd bump, see ya, bitch. Slide him right up the track. Put him up there on the wall. That's how you do it right there. Hey, you give them the 3 bumps. That's the Dale Earnhardt rule right there. You give them the 3 bumps. Bump them, let them know, hey, I'm here. I just got to your ass. 2nd one, bump them. Hey, you better move out of the way or you're going to get moved. 3rd one, you do move them. And whether or not you spin them out and they end up crashing and they tear the car all to pieces or whatever, that's their fault. You give them 2 warning shots. Third one's going to be a dead on, literally a dead on head as you see Matthew Bear going up another spot, going around Sean Andrews in the 04. And I believe, Hamish, this may be the very first time this season that we've seen Sean Andrews, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it may be, and I'm happy to be corrected on that, but I think it may be. It is also apparently his birthday today, so happy birthday to Sean, if it is his birthday. And I hope it's been a good birthday for him. And if we're just completely wrong, and we have seen Sean thus far this season, we apologise. We're 3 rounds in, and we're still learning the whole field. Give us time. We'll know the exact races people have been here eventually. We'll know the exact performances they've made as well. It just takes us time. It takes us time to build the rapport, to build the memory bank, and to solidify those drivers' names in our heads. I mean, I call hundreds of drivers' races per week. There's only so many that can fit in my brain.
Yeah, and if we're going to be able to remember every single driver's tendencies, every single driver's heads, then we ought to be getting paid a hell of a lot more than what we're getting paid right now. And I mean, like, in the 10,000 range. That's what I'm talking about, Hamish, because that is a lot. That's a lot of shit that you got to remember, and I don't have that time. I'm pretty sure you don't either. But there you see, some of these other drivers working their ways around. Right there's Ryan Safety, Jared Mogard, Matthew Bear, Jared Mogard. Boy, he's got to be still licking his wounds. Really from last week. Him and Matthew Bear, ironically enough, both of them running right here for the 8th spot, but both of them got to be kind of licking their wounds. But certainly Jared Mogard, after the contact with him and Joe Campbell from last week, certainly, I wonder what's going through his mind. I wish we could have interviewed him before the race started just to get his mindset on what he thought about last week.
Well, I suppose they're both the president and vice president of the Joe Campbell fan club. They're big fans of Joe Campbell. They're big fans, apparently, of hitting him on track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Made a bit of an enemy out of Joe for them. Whether they're worried by that is their choice and their mindset, as Mogard's now gotten past Seams. Watch for Matt Baer to try and line this up as well. It's a big dive, big late bomb. Straight into 3, up the inside of the 131 he goes. It's the 04 of Andrews, the birthday boys. He's going to sneak his way through as well. Seams is bleeding right now, Jake, and, well, he's got no clot to stop the wound from just absolutely gushing out lost positions. He's now down 6 in this race, but he's got some reprieve with 3.3 seconds back to Albie Hewins in behind him.
Yeah, honestly, Hamish, they're right here smack dab in the middle of a fuel run. To be honest with you, maybe a little bit past it, however you want to look at it. These guys, they can go 2 stops here in this race. Round 80, 90, maybe, depending on what you're doing and where you're lifting and how you're doing it. Possibly maybe a little bit longer than 90, but I wouldn't think it's going to be a whole lot, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot more than 90. I would say between 80 and 90. That would be at least my take out of it. I mean, and then you get 2 stops out of it, which is a very good possibility to make it happen. But I don't know. We'll see what happens right here. And you're already seeing it, as I mentioned, that there's a reason. Yeah, I mean, Hamish, there's a reason why I mentioned the fucking fuel run, because within that 80 to 90 laps, you're right here at the halfway point. You're already starting to see some drivers slip back. Ryan Seams, one of them, slipping back. Stephen T. Rex sliding back. Obviously, our Charlotte winner sliding back all the way to the 6th spot, down 4 spots. I mean, you're starting to see the fruits of the labor of what the tires is doing already here at USA International Speedway.
Well, one thing I will say is, and we kind of overlooked this just a little bit too, of course, Matt Bear and Jared Mogard, they're not just enemies of Joe Campbell out there, right? They're also enemies of Ryan Seams, who they've gone past relatively cleanly. You know, Seams has got beef with Mogard already. He said, and just to quote him, not verbatim, actually quote him in what he said, "Fuck you to Matt Bear, I just don't like him." Those are the words that Ryan Seams has used. So, he's not a fan of Bear. He's not a fan, or he's got beef with Mogard. The fact he let them go this early, I think he's more or less worried about his own race. He's not willing to get into anything with them right now, and he may wait for a better opportunity later on in the night if he gets the chance to, just to, you know, if they start to pester him a little bit, that may be when he starts to get a little bit feisty with them on track.
Damn, I'm always about the feistiness. Always about the feistiness. Anywhere that you can get a little bit of feistiness, get out there and mix it up and make it interesting. I mean, you know, look, Hamish, you've called races before. I've called races before. Yes, we love to see entertaining racing. Yes, we love to see clean racing. But at the same time, we like to see some people tear some shit up. We're all for it. We love the feistiness. You know why? Because it's good content. It gives us something to talk about. It gives the fans something to sit there and cheer for, especially if it's someone that they like that's going after somebody that they don't like. I mean, you got the hero-villain kind of deal going on. You want that shit. I mean, you really do.
Well, I mean, you know, we mentioned Shaun Andrews, and I've just been reading through some of the notes. Ironically, he's tucked up right below Ryan Seams. So I can actually correct us now through reading these notes. It is actually his 97th consecutive start tonight. So he has been here across the first 2 rounds, but it means that Shaun actually hasn't done anything to raise our attention in terms of anything negative, because we're noticing negativities out there, i.e. the beef on track in the first 2 rounds, and we're putting some focus on that a little bit here early on in the season. But 97th consecutive start. He's on his 135th career start tonight as well. Has had a little bit of success. He won a preseason event at number 3 at Charlotte in 2025. So last year in one of the preseason events, he did win out at Charlotte as well. But he is a man that has learned from a mistake last year too. He ran out of gas on the last lap of the All-Star Open last year, but finished 2nd in 2025 in that race. So, you know, he's someone who's learned from maybe some mistakes as well. But he's never won a race here in XCAL. A feature event in a main season race, he's never won. And that'll be something that Shaun Andrews would love to try and complete this season, obviously. Something that he'd be trying to strive for. Obviously, in a few weeks' time, if he does make the next 3 rounds, he'll make his 100th consecutive start here in XCAL, which is a great stat to have. And congratulations to Shaun when he does make that as well. And imagine the scenes, Jake, if he were to win his 100th race start in the season. I mean, if we have a quick look at the standing, not the standings, at the schedule for this year. Obviously, 5 flags next week, 98th consecutive start. 99th is the Bull Ring. Irwindale, that's the one. Irwindale Speedway, the outer course, that's the one. If he can win there on the 333 lapper, what a scene that would be for Shaun Andrews. 100 consecutive starts and you win it on your 100th consecutive start. That'd be huge for him.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a big deal right there for Shaun Andrews to be able to make it work any way, shape, fashion, or form. Real quick, while we're sitting here, as we're already looking at the 23 of Jack McKee, real quick, though, Hamish.
We got beef!
I've got beef. I've got beef already. We ain't even made it to the halfway point. Hell, I mean, honestly, I don't think we made it to the quarterway point. But we got a comment out here in the live chat. You know, Bear could be in the garage and the camera would stay on him. Yeah, it probably would. If you watched the past 2 weeks, He's been caught up in some shit in both races. So, yeah, we want to be. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility he can get caught up in some, some more shit.
Well,
you don't know.
Well, also
point,
as well,
David.
the other closest battle out here is a battle of 3 teammates for P2 who are not necessarily going to fight together for beef. And we're on lap 60 at 275. We're not going to sit on the race leader because the race leader is 3.8 seconds ahead of everybody and he's getting up to lap traffic now. The tightest battle on track where no one are teammates is ironically the battle with Matt Bear and Jared Bogard with Sean Andrews. So what I would like to say to you is, if you think you can do better, please come in and produce for us. If not...
Oh. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if not, we appreciate you watching along with us.
We got beef! That's my boy, Hamish. Hamish Monroe, everybody. Give him a clap. Everybody give him a little golf clap. I'll give you a golf clap. There you go. Hey, sometimes you got to get up on your pedestal. I mean, granted, ding, ding, we got beef. So apparently they was trying to light a fire under our ass, which happens. It happens. People try to light a fire under us, all the time. Honestly, Hamish, they try to light a fire under me all the time. And I'll say this. XCAL, I wouldn't do it, but because I've been given free reign, so everybody, stop. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Had a little bit of an issue right here going into, I believe this is turn 3. Yes, it is. And you got Hillweens. One thing about this, I will say this, the grip level. I've raced here at USA International Speedway. This was a real racetrack. Hamish, I don't know if you knew that or not, but this was a real racetrack. It no longer exists. It got demolished. Very unfortunate all the way down to Florida. So, very, very good track. But the grip coming off of turn 2 and coming off turn 4 is slick as hell. I mean, the track temp 77 degrees, air temp 66 degrees. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at that point. If it was hotter, it'd be really slick, and then you'd really be dirt tracking it all over the track. But I don't think, it does not matter. It's never mattered because I've raced here numerous times at night and sometimes on the dirt. But it doesn't matter. Turn 2, turn 4, these drivers got to be very careful with the throttle pedal not to mat it down the floor. They'll be literally, crisscrossing all the way down the back stretch or the front stretch. Turn 2, turn 4, very, very slick.
No, it is. It is very, very slick, and it's funny that you mentioned that this track, obviously no longer exists. It's gone the way of, obviously other extinct animals like the dodo bird or Tasmanian tiger as well. For my Aussies out there. But also like another Florida circuit, Myrtle Beach. Obviously Myrtle Beach no longer exists either. So yeah, it's a shame.
Really?
Yeah, it's a shame. They're both Myrtle Beach and USA International Speedway, and like other circuits as well, Pukekohe in New Zealand no longer exists either, unfortunately. That's now become a housing estate. But the beauty is, and I mentioned Pukekohe because it has been scanned by iRacing, it's yet to be built. We have it on here for eternity now. It is on iRacing. We can continue to go racing it. I don't need to mention it before we cross the start-finish line to start the next lap. We're on to lap 69 at 275. Nice. Here in the XCAL Webshop Series 2026 round 3 out at USA International. Salute. But yeah, obviously there's some circuits still on iRacing that no longer exist, but they exist on iRacing. So it means we can continue to drive them, we can continue to race them, and they're here for eternity. And that is the beauty of sim racing, is we can go racing anywhere in the world, past, present, or future, and we get to go racing there. And the reason I mention future is, well, they built the Chicago street circuit on iRacing before it even became an actual track. And then it became a real-life circuit. So, past, present, future, we're time travelers here on iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely love it. And believe it or not, Myrtle Beach Speedway, it's unfortunate that it is actually got hotels and condos on that property now. What a shame. For such a racetrack. Obviously Dale Jr. and his family, they raced there at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and a lot of late model races, a lot of great short track racing happened at Myrtle Beach Speedway. And it's a damn shame to have all these hotels and condos taking over all these all these racetracks and everything else. Folks, go support your local short track if you don't want the damn thing to turn into a hotel and condominium, land. You don't want that. Jody Shelton out there, buddy, thank you very much. We love you. We made it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. If you got some friends, you got some family that, ain't doing shit on a Tuesday night and want to see what's going on, bring them over to MotorMouth Broadcasting and let them see what's going on right here. Octavio Rondoletto, hey, miss, I'll just be honest with you. Putting an ass whooping on the field. 5.5 seconds over Richie Joplin, and then about another half a second from Joplin back to Jack McGee. Rondoletto does not want any type of controversy like Matthew Bear had with him last week. He don't want any type of controversy. He's just going to go out here, put it on the floor, and kick some ass.
Well, let's think about it this way, Jake. So, obviously, Octavio Rondoletto has been the qualifying man of honor thus far this season. 3 pole positions in a row in the first 3 rounds of the season. 100% strike rate in terms of getting a pole position here this season. He's obviously not on perfect record of race wins. He's on a 50% race win record, obviously alongside Stephen Rex as well. And he's just beginning to lap the field just a little bit now. Obviously, next couple of cars up on him are Jose Godinho, Ryan Seams, David Malgi as well. Then there's the battle of Sean Andrews, Matt Bear, and Jared Mogart. And I wonder, Jake, what's going to happen if Octavio and Matt Bear find each other on track tonight?
Oh, yeah.
What is going to happen? Because I have a feeling that Matt Bear, he didn't get him some last week during the race. He got it after the race on the start-finish line, but he did not get it during the race. There may be just a clothesline from hell waiting for Octavio Rondoletto from Matt Bear. That arm may be out the window, ready to just take Rondoletto's head off if he sees him on track tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a choke slam, could be a pile driver, it could be a stunner. Literally just to wipe his ass out and pull a stunner on him any way, shape, fashion, form. But think about this. Just think about this for a second. Do you want to get yourself in a situation like Joe Campbell got in, being on probation and not being able to do anything, being able to try to get revenge? Maybe Matthew Bear thinks, well, screw it, I'm king, they ain't going to bust me. I seriously doubt it. And here's why. It doesn't make a shit. I mean, you do wrong, you break the rules, that's what it is. And you don't want, to get yourself on probation like Joe Campbell is, which I thought was bullshit. Like I said, I said this earlier. I think it was just straight up BS that Joe Campbell got screwed out of that. He should have been waived of that. Not waste Sunday. But unfortunately, didn't happen. He didn't get waived of it, and he ends up getting on probation. But certainly we'll see if he's able to fight his way out of it. But I will say this. Y'all want to talk about us putting the cab on Matthew Bear and everything else. He gets close enough to Rondoletto, I will guarantee you we will put a camera on Matthew Bear just to see what happens if he gets around Rondoletto.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, it's that there is a firestorm waiting to happen, Jake. I mean, it is like a box of matches with a dry grass paddock, just waiting for something to explode in our faces as Cody Rogers comes into pit lane, lap 82 at 275, first pit stop of the race. And Rogers is coming early. I wonder if this may be a little undercut strategy coming the way of Rogers, just trying to maybe get some fresh tyres on this car, get a little bit of clean air, get out of the battle, and focus his way forward and maybe equalise out the fuel for this race as Jack McKee comes in as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that could happen. I mentioned between 80 and 90, so that's what these guys are looking like. Possibly, like you said, pull the undercut, get back out there, gas up, and carry on. Obviously, 4 tires right there going on Cody Rogers. And, we mentioned this last week. We mentioned this last week at Rocket M. We'll mention the same thing here tonight at USA International Speedway. You don't want to get trapped a lap down, have a caution happen or something like that. You don't want to get trapped a lap down. If you do, you are screwed. Especially with like Cody Rogers right there in the situation he's in, Jack McKee. But Cody Rogers already 2 laps down to the race leader, Octavio Rondoletto.
Oh,
Caution comes out.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
J-Dog.
here we go. J-Dog.
I don't think the caution's been thrown. There's been no caution thrown just yet. But J-Dog was trying to come into pit road, follow his teammates in. What has happened to J-Dog's car? Has he just completely cooked this entry? Oh, he has. Too much speed.
Yep.
Took way too much speed. Straight into the barrier, and that thing's had to be towed back to pit lane.
Hamish, you know what he just did right there? He did the same thing that I do to my hamburgers that I put on my Blackstone griddle out there. He cooked the shit out of that entry. That's exactly what happened. I mean, he cooked the shit out of it, and that's what happens. And sometimes you get burned, like J-Dog unfortunately did right there. And what's going to happen out of that one? I mean, unfortunate for J-Dog. I mean, hell, he was running up there inside the top 5. Now he's in a bad hole. He is.
Well,
I mean, odds are
he's got to get
the
that
whole front clip off of it. He's screwed.
Yeah, he's got to repair that entire car. Now, obviously, no fast repairs, so he's got to give up the time to repair that car. I would argue that's his race done. That is his race basically done, because we've got one more pit stop in this race to come. Less likely that we're going to get a, as Ryan seems going to pit road, less likely we're going to get a caution the longer that this goes on as well. We're already just about a third of the way through. I mean, it's gone by super, super quick. One of our fastest races of the whole season, as Richie Joplin's in as well out of P2. I'll tell you what, this car looks good. He looks fast tonight, looks confident as well. Richie could be on for a lovely and tasty little podium finish for himself here tonight as well. And you know what, for Richie, I mean, he's, you know, we haven't actually got any, we haven't got any info on him, so we can't really say very much about him. He's almost like an unknown for us. Albie Hewins is in as well. So is Sean Andrews out of that battle with Matt Bear and Jared Mogard. So he comes in, again, maybe just trying to undercut just a little bit, knowing that these cars, they have to take it 5 gallons at a time. It's not a straight up just refuel scenario. They have to wait for the time it takes for the pit crew to actually change the canister to refill this car as we hit lap 91 at 2:75. One thing we want to say as well is, obviously, give a little bit of a shout out here. XCAL got some merch coming your way. $14.95 is the starting price, includes US shipping for some brand new merchandise coming from 2026. Got some stickers. That's a water bottle in there as well. Obviously the long sleeves, obviously pullovers, some polos, some button ups, t-shirts as well. Get you some. XCAL merch is available, and you can find more about it, I would believe, at the XCAL website, which would be www.xcalracing.com. You can also find more info in the Discord too, for the information about the merchandise coming our way. So let's have a quick look actually at the Rookie of the Year standings too as well. They were meant to be full screen, but then we had to do our pre-race promos for those drivers. So unfortunately we couldn't make them full screen. Cody Rogers obviously leads that at this stage. Jack McKee, David Malgi, Justin Bird, and as well Earl Seams at the back end of town for the Rookie of the Year standings. And we look over to the owner's standings at the moment, and of course Gerald Pool's leading that with Octavio Rondoletto at the top end of town. Stephen Rex P2, and then Jason Seams, of course that's J-Dog, in P3, as Octavio Rondoletto looks to come into pit road now as well. And then, well, that's about it really, aside from our MVD standings at this stage for total wins in terms of purse wins. Stephen Rex is actually leading that at the moment with the most money won, a little under $250 at this stage of the season.
Yeah, I mean, and odds are is a good possibility with the season opening race at Charlotte was a little bit longer, than these other races that we're seeing. Throughout the season. Obviously Charlotte's a little bit longer, and obviously the regular season race a little bit longer as well. So maybe that longer race, good possibility that's why that the money is up there a little bit higher. As you obviously called out, Rondoletto jumping down pit road. Matthew Bear now working his way down pit road as well. Surrenders the lead to Jared Mogard. And, David Malgi, we talked to him a while ago as well, in pre-race, one of the rookies coming in here. David's got a little bit of, he's got a little spunk in him. We saw it at Charlotte. We saw a little bit of it at Rockingham as well. David Malgi in that 3, watch out for him this season. could be a factor in those MVD standings. Could be a factor, with wins and all that. He could be a huge factor. Only time will tell. We'll have to keep an eye on that number 3, David Maggi.
Well, one thing as well we need to keep an eye on right now is the strategic differences right at this stage for some drivers. Steven Rex has not taken a full set of tyres on his stop. 33.78 seconds was his stop here, Jake. So he's not taking a full set of tyres. So he's actually taking track position over Octavio Rondoletto and maybe hoping to actually put Rondoletto a lap down. If that happens and there's a caution thrown, Rex is going to be in the money because he is going to be a lap ahead of nearly everyone on track. Actually, in fact, it will be everyone on track. And if a caution's thrown, only one person is going to get a wave around, of course, with the lucky dog rule here in iRacing. So, for Rex, I think he's sitting in a pretty comfy position. Obviously, he feels his tyres did not need to be changed, at least a full set did not need to be changed. And he set himself up here to maybe have a little outside edge race win for himself once again this season. He's already a race winner. He won it out at Charlotte. We'll see if the strategy pulls together for him here tonight as he's now gone into the effective race lead. It'll become the race lead as he comes past pit road. Jose Godinho has just come in, so as Rex comes around, he will retake it in just a moment's notice. And then for Octavio Rondoletto, he's the only other driver on the lead lap at this stage of this race. Top two are the only ones on lap 100 of 275.
Yeah, I mean, Hamish, you talked about it right there with the, what Rex is trying to do. Obviously, maybe try to catch a caution, try to put some of these guys a lap down. Literally, I mean, he would take it all the way from 4th all the way down to 13th. J-Dog actually sitting 15 laps down still on pit road. He's pretty much out of this damn thing. But you go all the way from, Jose right there, who's in the 3rd spot. Make it Jack McKee is Jack out there on the racetrack now, sitting in the 3rd spot. 3rd place on down is a lap down. Caution comes out. It could really, really, really screw up this field 9 ways Sunday. And then especially if Rex and Rondoletto, they don't go in, then you get Jack on the, it's a clusterfuck. I mean, it really is. But none of these drivers planned on this. None of these guys planned on this. Rex pulling, honestly, one of the craziest moves probably. I mean, we didn't see it coming. And Rex could end up possibly getting a second win, for the season out of this right here. He put it on lap 91. Obviously, we were hearing something about a magic number of 92 out there, and a couple of them just blew right past that sumbitch. I mean, Jared Mogard went all the way to 98. Jose went all the way to 99, or Jose, I believe you said his name was. Jose, it's one of them. So many different strategies out of this right here, and only time will tell what'll happen. The main thing about this, Rex went a completely different route. I mean, obviously, he did not take those 4 tires, when he went in. Odds are he just took gas. Here's the thing. Rondoletto's not catching him. That's the part that kind of got me out of this. Rondoletto on the 4 fresh tires, he is not reeling in Steven T. Rex.
No, and I think the warm tyres on Rex's car now, he may have taken right sides to cover the fuel, which I'd argue probably did. Because you don't necessarily need all 4. But the thought is, if Octavio doesn't... the problem now for Octavio is he now has to counter this choice. He now has to make a decision. I need to take right sides in my last stop just to try and get past Rex. If Rex takes just right sides again, Rondoletto is in the absolute mud. And he's bogged up more. He's bogged up more than a Ford Explorer in a mud pit. I mean, he's not going to be going anywhere, realistically, because he's not going to gain anything. He's, if Rex pulls the same pit stop strategy again, when we get out to roughly, he needs to, I think, make. He's gone 91, so if he goes 91 again, that's going to be 182. And he's going to be tight if he does that. He needs to make lap 185 to get this car home. So he's got to do 94 laps on this stint to get this car home on one more stop. Otherwise, he's going to need a splash and dash, and he's all of a sudden going to be left out there with, well, hoping that he was carrying a 5-gallon fuel canister with him in the backseat of the car.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting. I will say this, Rondeletto might have gained about 2/10 on him right here. You know, and he's going to have to counteract that one way or another. But you know, that's what's blowing my mind. Honestly, Hamish, you know, that is really what is blowing my mind is, you know, with how everything worked out right here. Why wouldn't you just go ahead and do like Rex did on the last stop? And even though Rex goes in, say he goes in the next 90 laps, just go ahead and take rights again. I mean, it's not hurting you. You already see what the just the right side tire deal is doing for you right here. Just go ahead and do rights again. You know, he's just as fast, if not just a tick faster, you know, about every lap. And folks, we're coming down to hundreds and tenths. You know, well, let me rephrase that. Not hundreds and tenths, hundreds and thousandths of a second is where Rondeletto may or may not be faster than Stephen Rex. Give you an idea right here. 22.972 to 22.944. That was the last laps, you know, that Stephen Rex and Rondeletto ran. So they're not. The gap is not shrinking. I think if Rex, at least in my opinion, what I would do, just go ahead and take the rights, piss on it. Go ahead and take right side tires, make sure you got enough gas, get out of there and go win this sucker.
Yeah, see if you can push yourself furthermore forward throughout this race. Now, obviously, if he has short fueled at a 33.78 second stop, then he'll have to give that back later on in the race. If he hasn't short fueled though, and that's enough fuel to get him the rest of the way, well, then he's sitting in the money. But you know, there is a little bit of gloominess over those numbers of, has he short fueled to get track position? And if he has short fueled, well, how much is he really going to lose on the next stop? Well, it'll be a hell of a lot more than 20 odd seconds, I'll tell you that for free. But I think what this was is get him out of the shit storm that may have been forming in the midfield. Although the midfield's actually started to spread out now. The only close battle we have, ironically, is Matt Baer and Sean Andrews, as they battle for P6 on the road, and then David Malgi is just on the tail of Joe Campbell as he gets back up and over a lap ahead of Joe now. He's trying to chase down Jose Godinho at this point in time.
Wait a second. You mentioned a statement, and then you said, I'll tell you that for free. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you holler for $1?
You have to pay me first, then I'll tell you.
I ain't got $1. No, it's all on a card. Oh shit! What is wrong with this? Oh Lord, we've already went off the rails. I'm sorry, Hamish. I probably just completely screwed your ass up on what you were talking about. I think I might have just completely. Do you even remember what the fuck you were talking about? Seriously.
Right now, no.
I figured. That's my fault.
Yeah.
That's all my fault.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I've just noticed actually from Gerald Poole, which this is good actually that Gerald's out there because he's able to give us the numbers because.
Well, go ahead.
Ultimately, I don't call a heap of street stock racing, and by a heap I mean I call one, and it's XCAL. It's the only street stock series I call. It's the only street stock series I've ever called. So I don't know a lot about fuel numbers, and I don't know a lot about the pit stop strategies, and we're learning as we go along. All I know really about stock car racing pit stops is roughly if it's around about 8 seconds in a normal stock car, that's right sides or one side of tyres. If it's above 10 seconds, and that's four tyres. 3.5 gallons takes 4 tyres. To take 1 gallon takes about 3.5 seconds. Yeah, it's about 10 seconds.
I'm gonna fuck you up. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
One gallon takes about 3.5 seconds. So 3 gallons obviously would be 3 times 3.5. So that would be what 11 and a half seconds, roughly. So then you add another half a gallon. That's 1.75, so roughly 13 odd seconds, 13, 14 seconds. So he probably took 4 tires, but he has underfueled the car. So he's underfueled it, right? He hasn't taken just right sides, he's underfueled it. So he's going to have to take that fuel back again at some point, and he's probably locking himself into a 3-stop, knowing that he could not make 92 laps. It's an interesting call to make and pull that sort of strategy. I don't know. It depends. It depends if he knows something that we don't. If he knows that, 33.78 seconds, which is roughly 10 gallons, if that's going to be enough. Depends on the fuel burn. Depends how much fuel he's burning. Depends how far that's going to get him. And if that's going to get him all the way, time will tell. But we appreciate Gerald being out there with us to give us this information as well, because obviously it opens up our eyes and we know then more about the fuel usage and how these pit stops work. And as the season goes on, we learn more and more about it. And the more we learn about it, the more accurate we are in our anticipation of strategy and in our perception of strategy as well. I can give you every piece of perception of strategy for, say, supercars or for GT cars or for even NASCARs now, street stock. So it's feels like a guessing game of Family Feud, Jake, and just trying to figure out how close I am to the gallons of how far they need to go.
Yeah, I mean, he'll hook you up for $1. I mean, there you go. I mean, he'll hook you up with all that information for $1. Right, Hamish? Yep, $1.
Yeah, maybe $1. $2.50 maybe.
Yeah. $2.50. Yeah, there you go. I mean, you got that option as well out of that one. Back to what I was talking to you about a second ago. You were talking about a stock car if it's over 10 seconds, that it's a 4-tire stop. If we're talking about an Xfinity car or a NASCAR truck,
it's about 14
and
seconds.
They're making it. Okay, I was fixing to say, because if they're making a pit stop in 11 seconds, that whole pit crew, sign them some bitches.
Yeah.
That is hauling ass trying to change 4 tires on an Xfinity in a truck.
Yeah.
That is how you do it. Now, obviously, the next gen POS Cup car, obviously got the one single lug nut and everything, so you could change 4 tires probably in about 10 seconds.
For the next gen, I think it's about 8 seconds is right sides, and 14 seconds is all 4. And then I believe it's 14 roughly for Xfinity and trucks is 2 tires, and then up just above 20 seconds I believe is 4. I think I'm calling that right.
You sure?
Actually, no. It might be the same, actually, because I think it's the same for Gen 6 Cup cars. No, it is the same. It is the same, yeah, because Gen 6 Cup cars are also 8 and 14 seconds, so I think it's just the same.
We're going to have our first disagreement right here. We're going to have our first disagreement right here.
All right, bring it on.
Guarantee them to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Xfinity cars and the trucks, when they have their 4-tire change, and obviously they're putting gas in the car, because if you're going to put tires on it, why the fuck would you not put gas in it? But at the same time, you're looking at around 14 to 16 seconds for that particular stop. You can get a little bit under 14. It may get to 13. 2 tires, like you said, you're shooting for about 8 seconds, give or take. And that all depends on whether or not you're putting a full tank in there while you're getting 2 tires. And I don't know why you would do that. Here's the thing. The next gen Cup cars, it's 1 lug nut. I mean, literally, it's that quick.
Yeah.
So you're looking at about a 10-second pit stop, and that is 4 tires.
Okay, yes.
For about a 10.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So it's the same as the supercar. So for the supercar to talk in to talk in non-freedom units for a second here. For a supercar, it's 23 litres to cover 4 tyres, because it's 10 seconds, because 2.3 litres per second is the fuel rate. So I would argue it's probably the same for the next gen Cup car, because realistically NASCAR wanted to make a supercar style NASCAR, and that's what the next gen car is, and it matches the similarity. They have a lot of similarities to the Gen 3 supercar. So that makes sense why it's that quick.
Yeah. We got beef! And that's where they fucked up. Shouldn't have even went to try to make that NASCAR Cup Series next gen car into a supercar. Should have left the damn thing alone. At least that's my opinion.
I like the single lug nut wheels. I don't mind it. That doesn't really. I think the main
I ain't
issue.
worried about that. I'm
I
talking
think
about the whole damn body.
Yeah,
sucks.
I think the main issue that people have with it is the way the car handles and the way that it handles tires and stuff like that. That's the main issue. But there are people out there who sit on both sides of the fence. There are people who love the next gen car. There are people obviously that hate the next gen car as well. I'm all for development of cars, but you've got to be able to develop it properly and have good parity between them too. NASCAR's got some of the best parity in the world because every car's the same. It's just a different body that's on it. And obviously trying to balance parity, it's a massive thing. Parity between the street stocks is a tough thing too, as Stephen Rex is now into pit road. So Gerald Poole, massive piece of knowledge for us in the chat. Stephen Rex did underfuel that car. So thank you, Gerald. Did underfuel that car, and he has had to come in early. So he is going to have to do still one more stop in this race. This is going to bury him. He took track position hoping for a pace car, and it hasn't paid off for him. I don't think it was worth the risk.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might have ended up getting himself in a bad spot right here. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, it may end up working out for him. Who knows at this point? But, I mean, Stephen Rex has literally fell all the way down to the 10th spot. What will Rondeletto do is now Rondeletto back out to 10 seconds over Jack McKee. Real quick, Hamish, if we can, pop up the link or the little picture, for the T-shirts and everything else, if we can, real quick.
There it is.
As we already see somebody back there that just smacked the hell out of the wall right there, coming off of turn number 2, going into 3. But there you go. We got updates, coming up here very, very soon. With some merch with XCAL. Make sure you go over and check out the website and get you some merchandise. And Hamish, where the hell's our damn T-shirts? We don't get none.
Apparently not, Jake.
We seriously need to get with somebody on that right there. We need to at least get a free T-shirt out of this right here.
The beauty, obviously, of working with Jim is he is a larger man, so he understands. Me and Jim need larger sizes because we're both larger men. Maybe MotorMouth can move into big and tall clothing, and maybe get us some MotorMouth flannels or something. That'd be nice. Get us some MotorMouth or some graphic tees, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we need to talk to Jim about it. Get some merch happening for MotorMouth Broadcasting.
I mean, very good possibility. Would be pretty cool to get that going on. Wear some MotorMouth hats, some shirts, and everything else. And if you don't know what MotorMouth is, then you must be absolutely shit-faced here on a Tuesday night. If you know what it is,
found a random street stock race of XCAL Webshop series just on a Tuesday night, and
just out of nowhere.
You've dropped some Michelob Ultras, and you're just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a street stock series. What channel's it on? No idea. No, it's MotorMouth Broadcasting. Welcome into watching along with us. So much action still to come your way, obviously, this week as well, and throughout the rest of 2026 right here on MotorMouth Broadcasting. We've got a whole heap of different racing styles coming your way. Got a lot of truck series coming your way this season, actually. A lot of truck series. There's XCAL Racing truck series. There's Maximum Velocity truck series. There's I2I truck series on here as well. We've also got your sports car stuff covered as well. Through Full Throttle Nation, the Ultimate GT Championship, racing tomorrow night. Myself and Jim Cunningham in the booth for that one as we go out to Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. Friday night as well, you've got the Bite Point Sports Car Championship of, I believe it's LMP2 and GT3 cars as well going racing for you too. So there's some great sports car action. You've got some great oval racing with truck series races, obviously with street stocks tell. We've also got the OGRL Coffee Cup series too. So you got a little bit of everything from all over the US and even internationally too. So there's some global audiences out there watching along with us as well. And you guys are becoming a part of a small community right here on MotorMouth Broadcasting with a whole heap of different networked leagues together again. I'll tell you what, Jake, what'll be really fun for obviously MotorMouth with so many different backgrounds and racing styles here in the community of MotorMouth Broadcasting. I want to see a MotorMouth Broadcasting endurance race. 12 hours, every different car. Throw in a, have some inspired car types that we race. So get the XCAL guys out there in the street stocks. Get some of those truck series guys out there in the trucks. And then get some GTs on track with them too. And just watch the chaos ensue. I think it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. I mean, 12 hours, damn. I ain't got enough beer to pull that off. And I will go ahead and tell you this, Hamish. You get me for 12 hours and I have beer. Let's just say I had enough. Let's just say I had enough of beer to make it happen for 12 hours. I guarantee you. I would guarantee you right now it ain't happening.
Well, no, just like the driver swaps and how they do stints. We do stints in the booth. You're not sitting here for 12 hours straight. We do swaps.
No, because I'd be shit-faced. You would be too. Anybody would if they try to call a 12-hour race. I mean, that's how it would be.
I've done it.
Drinking?
No. I stayed sober the whole time.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. You drink while you broadcast a race for 12 straight hours, you will end up being, teetotally plastered. It's just going to happen. That's just how it is.
Drink water. I don't know. Stay hydrated.
Where's the fun in that?
I don't know. You're staying hydrated.
You stay hydrated? Well, hell, if you're drinking light beer like I do, hell, you're getting hydrated anyway, according to some of the folks out there.
You're basically drinking mineral water at that point if you're drinking light beer. Come on.
Well, thanks a lot. hey, look, I don't care if it's mineral water, if it tastes like water or whatever. If I get a good buzz and it tastes good, I will drink it. That is exactly how it goes. I mean, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. We have talked about all kinds of stuff, me and you, Hamish, over the last 3 weeks. We've talked about beef. We talked about how we like our steaks. We're talking about alcohol and everything else.
Also talked about cheese as well. We've talked about cheese too.
I forgot about the cheese.
Yeah.
Forgot about the cheese.
Yeah,
forgot about the cheese.
You can never forget about the cheese. By the way, J-Dog Seems is still in pit road, by the way, fixing his car. I think that thing actually had a blown engine when he hit that wall. Because he has been in pit lane since lap 84. So he's been in there for the last 70-odd laps of this race. I mean, that thing is cooked. Absolutely cooked. Cody Rogers and Richie Joplin at the moment tightly contested together here for P3. Everyone is pretty much spread out aside from this battle, as well as David Malgi and Jose Cadeno. And then Stephen Rex is on the tail of Joe Campbell at the moment, with Ryan Seams just ahead of them. Joe is about to go a lap down here on Rex, but Seams is in the battle at the moment here with Seams and Rex are in a battle together, so they're fighting for position. And there's Matt Bear just up the road from him too. This is how close Joe Campbell is to Matt Bear. That is how tight it is between them. Where's Rondoletto? Oh my God, he's right on the back of this field. Okay, I just got a tingle up my spine because Rondoletto's about to go past Campbell. But at the front of this pack is Matt Bear.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, this is going to get interesting, man.
Oh, yes, it is.
You know what's going to happen.
Oh, he's going to come up on Bear, and Bear's going to wall him, surely. Surely he's just going to...
Well...
The steering's he's going to loosen the steering a little bit as he comes into a corner.
That'll pull the plug in it.
Yeah, something like that.
I will say this.
He just got
Jody
loose.
Shelton out there, be ready. Here we go.
Here we go. So Rex gets past Bear, although Rex is just unlapping himself. He has gotten past Seams, by the way, so that's now changed position. He's now up to P10. But watch for Matt Bear here, because Rondoletto is coming up on his tail, and these guys, if you missed it last week, go watch it back at some point. End of that race was spectacular, and they ran together. And there was beef. There was beef. King Matthew the Bear was absolutely pissed at Rondoletto. And realistically, Jay, no matter if you disagree with him or you agree with him or what, we were sympathetic to his cause last week because realistically, he wanted to try and win that race and he couldn't quite get there. We were also sympathetic though to Rondoletto's reasonings too. It was a very big fence sitter for us last week between Bear and Rondoletto. What we're not fence sitters on is if we should have beef and if we should see some chaos. We love it and we want to see it, and right now we may only be a couple of laps away from it, because Rondoletto's about to lap Ryan Seams, and now there's only a couple of yards between them for Rondoletto and Matt Bear. This could heat up. here on lap 159 and 275 here at USA International.
Yeah, and 10 laps away from the salute siren for 169. And then obviously we're going to get three more, or another shot at it at the 269 mark when we hit the salute. I'm just going to sound the siren. Not that we got beat, but I'm just going to throw the siren out there. Because I mean, hey, you got to salute the number 69 anyway that you shape, fashion, or form with it. And that will happen in 9 laps when we salute that number, as we're going to do every single year. What the hell am I thinking? Every single race. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well, hell yeah. I mean, I'll do it every time they flip a 69 up there. I'll go ahead. Hell yeah, I'll sign the siren. I'll do it in my other broadcasts as well. Why not? I mean, but we will do it. Is there you see Rondoletto starting to ease right here to the back of this field. Try to get closer and closer and closer. And look who he is up on the back door of, which is Matthew Bear. What is going to happen right here, folks? You got to watch this right here. Bear looking like he's going to jump to the top. Rondoletto going to jump to the bottom. What will Bear do? Bear trying to pinch him down here on the inside. Will he throw the door to him? Will he get him? Or will he just go ahead and let him race it out side by side? Rondoletto on the bottom side. Bear down there with him. Bear coming down, pinching him. Trying to pinch him as much as he can. He may. Oh, this is when it's going to get good right here. Going into turn 1. Will Bear trying to get him back? He ain't close enough to get there. Oh, damn, he's sitting in there trying to get to him, but unfortunately cannot get to him, at least for the Bear fans out there. Looks like Rondoletto might have dodged a bullet.
Yeah, very well may have. And this is not a, obviously, personal vendetta that we have against Rondoletto. We just have a thirst for chaos, a thirst for beef, I suppose, or hunger for beef would be a better analogy there, Jake, is... We want to see the beef. We want to see it happening. We want to, we're big fans of bring back the biff, bring back pit lane punch-ons. And we haven't seen it. And I feel so almost deflated that Matt Bear didn't go for it then. It's weird to say, but I feel deflated because of it.
Hamish, think about it like this. Obviously, I would say that he probably would have took a shot right there at Rondoletto. Here's the problem with that. He knows what happened with Joe Campbell. Damn, Cody Rogers missed it going in. Completely blows it right there going into the pits. And coming back up on the racetrack with the drivers coming around. Cody Rogers right there, one of those drivers in the Rookie of the Year standings. It shot right up there. 3 of them tried to shoot around him. He almost cleaned all 3 of them out coming back onto the racetrack. This pit road is not easy to get down right here. And now he's going to lock it down very, very hard to make sure that he's going to be able to make it, at least this time. But this pit road is not easy to get on.
No, it's not. And you know what the problem is for Rogers now as well? So, obviously, him committing to that lap 81 stop has offset him so much now, Jake. He is still going to need another pit stop to get home. He is actually having to commit to a full 3-stop strategy here tonight. Next time he's going to be able to pit is roughly the 248 mark of this race. I mean, it's crazy to me that he has offset himself up so much that he is going to have to take a shorter stop towards the end of this race. And it's going to completely throw him down the end of the field because everyone else are going to have such a shorter stop that they're going to be quite possibly in a much better position than he could be.
Oh, here we go. 169. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I think that money one would be even better, to be honest with you, than the siren money. It's always money for the 69s. Anyway, Rondoletto now going around to 170. About a 15-second lead over Jack McKee. Richie Joplin sitting in third. The only drivers that is on the lead lap. Rondoletto has lapped them all the way up to the 4th spot. Matthew Bear, the first one, 1 lap down. Everybody else behind him 1 lap down except for the top 3. And Rondoletto, the showman, putting on a show here tonight at USA International Speedway.
Yeah! Real showmanistic stuff here from Rondoletto tonight as Jack McKee is in the pit lane. Oh, he nearly hit that tire. He nearly hit that barrier then. This is a really dangerous pit entry tonight. And we're nearly at the 100 lap to go marker here as McKee is in. He's definitely going to need another stop tonight as well. I think everyone realistically, unless they can make lap 180 odd, they're going to need another stop. So anyone that's coming in now is just committing themselves to another run down pit road. Frondoletto, he went 94 in the last stint, so he can roughly go to around about lap 188. Plenty of laps to go after that to get home on that stop. So Rondoletto can definitely get home here on his next pit stop and run down pit lane, as long as it is within the next 10 laps of this race. But it needs to be past the next 10 laps. He cannot do it between lap 173 and lap 84 or 184 because he will not get home. So it must be 184 or above, Jake, and he will get home on that one stop.
Yeah, I mean, but he's still got to, fight through all this as well. But he's still got right at 100 laps to make it work. So, I mean, even still, as we see a beautiful aerial shot of the used to be USA International Speedway. Remember, it got demolished and unfortunate by that. Real quick, I do want to do a little bit of search on this and actually see what the hell happened. Honestly,
I
would
assume the land was sold.
one.
I would assume the land was sold. Because just like a couple, majority of race circuits that have gone into obscurity and been sold away and no longer exist, here locally in Australia and New Zealand, Pukekohe and Oran Park are the two most notable ones. Both of them have become housing estates. Oran Park became a housing estate back in 2009. That was when they first started developing it. In fact, there's actually an Oran Park hotel where that circuit is now. And Oran Park is on iRacing, so you can go and drive it. But there is an Oran Park hotel which actually has a lot of memorabilia from supercars and from the Oran Park races in that Sydney suburb in New South Wales. Also, a lot of the road and street names, Jake, where the circuit was, are actually named after drivers who participated and won at Oran Park as well. Most notably, there's, I think it's Scaife Street or Scaife Road, named after Mark Scaife. And then Pukekohe is also becoming a housing estate as well. We mentioned Myrtle Beach before. That became a condo sort of estate area where they built a lot of condos on the former circuit. And I would assume USA International's gone a very similar route as to what Myrtle Beach did.
Yeah, I mean, looking up a little bit of history that happened here. Some of these drivers, or some drivers that have won, here at this track before it was demolished. Some NASCAR drivers like Chad Chaffin, Mario Gosselin, Scott Wimmer, one of them, Bobby Gill, Shane Huffman, Brian Vickers. Obviously, a lot of fans out there know Brian Vickers, and one driver that has won here that honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't like him. He sucks. But NASCAR champion Joey Logano has won here at the USA International Speedway. By the way, when it got demolished, completely demolished in 2012, got closed in 2008, got demolished in 2012, guess what's there now?
Condos.
A fucking Amazon warehouse.
Oh, gross.
Believe it or not, an Amazon warehouse is in place of where this track once sat. As you see Sean Andrews down pit road, Richie Joplin right there, you see him getting 4 freshies and going to send it back out there as well. J-Dog is still down pit road.
Yeah, Gerald said that he's pretty sure the damage was too much. Yeah, I think with his engine blowing, that's way too much for him to continue. So he'll prepare for next week's race, and reset himself for next week's race as well. Of course, we're going racing at Five Flag Speedway next week, so more short track action for you. And yeah, he'll just be hoping that he can make it to the end of that one and not end up back in pit road. But that's a big blow to J-Dog, because we talked him up at the start, Jake. I said I think he's going to win a race at some point this season. I still think he will.
You jinxed him.
I'm not going to claim that, because I don't actually believe in the commentator's curse. I think if a driver is listening to a broadcast, they hear the name and they make a mistake. Guess what, Jake? That's on them. Shouldn't be listening to the broadcast. You should be focusing on your racing. That's my claim anyway. About to come up on lap 184 of 275. So this is now the critical lap. This is the critical lap for those guys that have not come down pit road yet, that they can come down and they can definitely get home, because it's 91 laps to the end. Now, obviously, if we went into overtime, that would kind of resettle us a little bit. But without a caution tonight, we didn't get a caution last week at Rockingham either. We got one obviously at Charlotte, although that was 240 odd laps into the race. Doesn't look like the likelihood of a caution tonight is really going to happen, especially with the multiple incidents we've already had tonight, Jake. So, and we're not going to get a caution in the final 10 laps. Actually, what am I saying? We're never going to go in overtime. Another rule that I'm learning as we go along, we never go into overtime in XCAL because they never have a caution in the final 10 laps. If it goes into caution, then they will end under caution. So, yeah, that is the scenario at play as Stephen Rex is now onto the tail of David Malgi. Both drivers need to take another stop in this one, although Rex's stop maybe, no, it won't be slightly shorter, it'll still be the same amount as Malgi's, but he took a 47.62 second stop, so I'd argue he put in enough in that car to get him slightly further ahead, maybe out to around about lap 190 or so, but we'll see when these 4 out of top 5 cars need to come into pit road and see where they end up on the next one.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up doing as Rondaletto now has entered the pit road. And, I mean, you called it right on the money right there, Hamish. He is good to go once he comes down. He will be good to go, be able to make it easily all the way to the end, barring something crazy happening, you know, caution coming out or something like that, that would restack this field. And numerous drivers right now, you know, Joplin, Rogers, Jose, Sean Andrews, Ryan Sims, all these guys, multiple laps down, but obviously with, Rondaletto and then with Baird and also with Mogard, when they jump down pit road, obviously they'll be able to cycle back around and get a couple laps back. There comes Matthew Baird. So Baird going to slide it right on down pit road. And what will be his final stop to be able to make it all the way to the end here tonight, USA International Speedway. And I'll just go ahead and call it at this point, Hamish. This has got the looks and the feel of what we saw last week at Rockingham. As you see Jared Mogard now going to jump it down pit road now. But it's got the feel and the looks of a Rockingham when we didn't have a caution. The only difference is if it goes the way that it's going right here, you're not going to have a finish like we saw last week with Matthew Baird and Octavio Rondaletto. It's pretty much going to be the ass whooping that we've been watching here tonight that Octavio's been putting on the field.
Yeah, I mean, as impressive as it is, obviously, from an entertainment perspective, to see Rondaletto so far out, that is a little bit disappointing. But in terms of an impressive feat for Rondaletto to be racing so dominantly thus far tonight, I think we cannot take anything away from him in that point. We've still got 85 laps to go. So there's still 85 laps to go in this race. Anything can happen in those last 85 laps. If we get a caution, it's going to completely change it because it's going to get another driver back on the lead lap. It's going to put more pressure on Rondaletto with cars being tight on his tail and putting, obviously, just straight up pressure onto the back of him and pushing him to the end of this race. But yeah, I think obviously if this goes green the whole way, then, we have a feeling of, well, where was the chaos that short tracks normally bring? But the driving standards have been very impressive tonight in terms of how well drivers have done, except for when it comes to pit entry. Drivers have been making some very, very big rookie errors in terms of pit entry. We've seen multiple drivers miss. We've seen a driver hit the wall in J-Dog Seams. They might want to tighten those screws up before five flags next week.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We saw, like you mentioned, with some of the pit roads mishaps that we've been seeing here tonight. With a NASCAR mind like mine, and I keep thinking about like NASCAR and everything. One thing that comes to mind as far as these pit road incidents is honestly, it reminds me of some NASCAR tracks like Darlington, Dover being one of them as well, with just how hard they are to get on pit road and lock it down, make sure you don't screw yourself. Bristol could be certainly in that conversation of being able to try to make it down pit road as well. Very, very interesting pit roads. As you see Stephen Rex, old T-Rex, coming down pit road. He is the race leader at this moment in time. But once it all ends up working itself around right here, Octavio Rondaletto. Pretty good sizable jump right now over Jack McKee, who's eventually sitting in the second spot. And Rondaletto just working his way around the racetrack. He's just hoping nothing crazy pops off here in the final, final 75, 80 laps, mind you. He doesn't want nothing to happen right here, and he's going to be able to cruise to his second win of the season, 2 wins in a row.
Well, we watched Rex. He's just dropped off the jacks now. He's waiting for that last bit of fuel, so McKee will jump him up to P2, but McKee does need another stop in this race to get that car home. So at the moment, I think Rex is roughly corrected P3 with Mogard just getting past him now as well. Joplin is up to P3, but again, I think he may need another stop to get this car home. So it'd be a short stop for sure, but again, it's, makes it tough for them to try and figure this out and to try and work their way forward in this one. But for Rex, he has dropped down the order, but multiple cars do need to come back into pit road. Actually, Matt Bear may now be corrected P3 because he pit on lap 188, so he can get to the end. So it's making it tougher and tougher as we go along, but we're lap 197 to 275. We're on the road to 200 here tonight, as we have got a little under 80 laps to go here at USA International.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I mentioned it a second ago with just the drive that we've saw here tonight from the pole sitter, Octavio Rondaletto. And, if he was to come out of this right here with the win, Hamish, there's no telling what that would mean for Rondaletto to come out of this right here, to come out of it with a win here tonight after the quote-unquote controversy that happened last week at Rockingham. You certainly want to come out here. You got all that, like I said, you got all that negativity or whatever you want to call it, beef, for that matter, controversy, however you want to put it, all of that happened last week. To come out here and to put a whooping on the field like Rondaletto is doing here tonight, certainly has got to put it in the back or in the rear view mirror to show everybody that, hey, controversy ain't got a damn thing to do with it tonight. I come out here and I put a whooping on the field.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's putting them all to the sword tonight as we see Albie Hewins go up the inside of Ryan Seams, and as we said, Seams has been bleeding positions all night. He's now down 8 positions in this race outside of the top 10. And the race pace it hasn't matched the qualifying standard that Seams had set himself after Monday night's qualifying session. So for Seams this evening, I think there's a lot to improve upon. I think there's a lot to review going forward for future races as well. And just try and get that race pace up, I think. And that ultimately, that is what has dropped Ryan Seams so far down the order tonight. I think it's just lack of race pace. And I don't know what it is. He just looks like he's on the back foot at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he is sliding back literally in a hurry. Obviously, I mean, the next guy to catch him would be Joe Campbell, but Campbell certainly multiple laps down, so Ryan Seams should be in a pretty good spot to be able to hold on at least to the 12th spot. There's Joe Campbell right in behind Octavio Rondaletto. And, Joe Campbell, as we mentioned earlier on probation, for his actions against Jared Mogard last week. Certainly, I would love to hear Jared Mogard's comments on that, which obviously, or odds are, we probably will be able to talk to him because he should be able to make it on fuel all the way to the end. But, I mean, back to the Campbell deal, I mean, just like you said, I feel the same way that you feel about that. It sucks when you get revenge on somebody, and then once you get that revenge, you're like, oh, hell yeah, I finally got that revenge on me, or for myself, I finally got that revenge, and then bam, they slap a big old F-U right at you, and they throw you on probation. That's got to be a tough feeling to have something like that happen to you.
Yeah, it would be, because obviously it's like whether you've been influenced by people or not, or you've made that choice for yourself. Obviously, as drivers, we want to see it be that, there's heroes and villains, and we want the heroes to overcome the villains by getting one over on them. But ultimately, as well, the rule set's there to be fair to everybody, not just the heroes, But I would then argue, well, then should there be some pressure put as Albie Hewins just tied it into the wall there down at turn 3 or turn 2? I then think as well, were the other guys put on probation too for their incidents? Well, I don't know if they were deliberate incidents or not with Joe, for Beauregard and for Bear, or if they were just wrong place, wrong time. So that obviously makes it a little bit more difficult as well. But for this stage, we're past lap 200. We are counting down the laps to the end here out at USA International. Xavier Rondeletto leads the way at the moment in a very dominant form and fashion. Matt Bear is now on the back of... he's got Richie Joplin, on his tail at this stage in the battle for P4. Bear up 10 positions here tonight. Most positions gained. The only driver to go up double digits here out of USA International, but there's still work to be done and maybe a caution needed to get himself back into this race. But if the caution were to come out now whilst Rondeletto is a lap ahead of him, maybe nail in the coffin stuff.
Yeah, very good possibility right there from Bear as he's tried to work his way right here where David Malgi is, one of those Rookie of the Year candidates. We talked to him a while ago, coming into tonight, 3rd in the Rookie of the Year standings, and kind of having a quiet night, that being for, David Malgi. Up 5 spots, but sitting in the 8th spot currently, and, doing what he needs to do. We saw some of those guys like Justin Bird. We saw him at Charlotte, didn't see him last week at Rockingham, didn't see him here tonight at USA International. Could be a possibility, for the Rookie of the Year. Could be just consistency, could be the key. I mean, granted, we still got a long way to go, 30 races, this is race number 3 in the season, but still could be consistency, could be the key to winning that Rookie of the Year battle. For David Malgi to be able to try to make it happen, as you see Stephen Rex now working his way down to the inside of Jose, working his way all the way up in the 6th spot.
He's just tucked his way nicely past Jose Godinho at this stage of the race, but Stephen's had good pace tonight, but he's really just let himself down with a really wacky strategy. I mean, obviously in our initial thought, we thought it was brilliant, but then obviously with relevant information, that then kind of cut that out for us. And I question a lot of drivers' thoughts on strategy, right? And what their strategy is and why they've gone about this strategy. And I asked you, Jake, I've called over 600 races at this point now on iRacing, or over 600 events on iRacing. And the one thing that I've learned about strategy is the least amount of times you can go through pit lane, the better. Because obviously you're not giving up as much time. Why would you commit to a 3-stop strategy when 4 cars out there are able to commit to a 2-stop strategy and get their cars home? It doesn't make sense to me. Now, whether you knew that information or not, it obviously takes general mathematics and a little bit of calculation to figure it out. Maybe there's some differences between the cars, who knows? But to me, it just on paper it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up to me as an effective calculation in my mind of why you would put yourself in that position to go, a lap down and take an extra pit stop, maybe to take better tires towards the end. It doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, it doesn't, but, you try something different. I mean, you got to try something when you got guys up here that's, got the amount of speed and the amount of consistency like Octavio Rondeletto has on the rest of the field. You got to try something. You got to do something completely different. It's like a good friend has told me in the past, a great broadcaster as well, with another racing that I'm with, Tyler Dittmer, a good buddy of mine. He told me the same thing. If you follow the leader, you're going to finish behind the leader. Well, I mean, he's got to try something different. Whether that strategy worked out or whether it screwed him, he's got to do something different.
Okay, so I understand the thought process of that's not doing exactly what the leader's doing, because you're not going to gain anything. But there are minor changes you can make in your pit stops to go slightly different, right? So you could pit a lap earlier than the race leader, try and undercut them. You could go a lap longer, try and overcut them. You could overcut them by taking more fuel in your first stop if it's kind of a race where you have split fuel and you can take more in one, less in the other, yada, yada, yada. but you take more. You go longer on the first stop, and you put more fuel in to try and go longer on the next stop than they will, and try and undercut them that way by having better tires at the end. Or you come in super early, put yourself in clean air, you put bulk fuel in the car, and again try and overcut them that way. Or you come in on the same lap with them and you set a fuel number and hope they're not going to do the same one. Those are the differences you can make in pit lane. Ultimately, setting yourself up to go an alternate route of a pit strategy, of doing a 3-stop strategy where a 2-stop strategy is possible, that is not the correct choice in terms of differential to a race leader to try and roll the dice for, in my opinion. As a team owner, a team strategist, as someone who makes fuel strategies week in and week out, you are putting yourself into the ground 20 years in advance by doing that. Because you are putting your hands up and saying, I'm going to make 3 stops in pit lane. I'm going to give up an extra minute and, a minute of time, or a minute and 30 seconds of time by coming down pit road, an extra time compared to somebody else. It's not necessarily about just what we see on screen. It's also about what's on the time clock too. Ultimately, Stephen Rex has given up an extra minute of time tonight by coming into pit lane an extra time, because his first stop was 30 odd seconds, was around about a minute traversal through pit lane. Second stop was 47 seconds, around about a minute and 20-ish seconds through pit lane, and then his third stop has been a full stop, minute 30 seconds, 0.78 in his pit lane traversal. Through all of that, he could have only spent 3 minutes in pit lane tonight. Jake, instead, he spent 4. And that extra minute is what has really just pushed him back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hamish Monroe, the master of the mindfuck. He literally just done that to each and every one. But I know he did it to me, because you started talking about all those strategies and all this and that, this and that, this and that. You have me lost at, pitting it this time and pitting it this time. Hopefully everybody else was able to follow along with it. Hamish, I'm not sitting here saying you just completely rambled for, but fantastic job. But it's hard for me to keep up with that shit. I do the best that I can to keep up with it. Best that I can.
I probably did ramble, because I do ramble sometimes. Gerald's saying as well, it's all in the setup. I suppose it is, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Try and do more prep, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know, Jake.
I think you got the prep lined up on that one right there. I mean, you explained it, perfectly for that right there, to be able to do what you got to do out of it. And I agree, with you on that. He tried something. It didn't work. Was it the right call? Yeah, probably not. But, Rex tried something.
As long as he learns from it. If you learn from it, it's actually not as big of a mistake as obviously what we're making it, right? And I think a lot of people overlook this in racing, as Hewins has run it way wide. That's going to give Ryan Seams a position to Jack McKee's down pit lane. I think the one thing a lot of people miss is, so when a mistake happens on track, if you learn from the mistake, you're not actually losing as much as what you think you are. Look at it from a positive perspective, Jake, of, right, we've made a mistake, we haven't had the greatest race tonight. What can we take away from it that we can apply next time to not make the mistake again, or to maybe try something different that's actually going to improve ourselves? And I think that's the importance of racing, is learning where you can improve and where you can't improve, because if you at least know where you can improve, you can make steps to improvement by trying to make the correct choices on track.
Yeah, that's the main thing, that I have learned, racing and sim racing, not only with sim racing, but, broadcasting as well. Learn from your mistakes is, say this, David Mauji might have learned from his mistake right there. Be careful, trying to make the pass on the exit of the quarter, as loose as he was right there, almost lost grip with the back end, almost spun it right around, trying to go after Haween's right there, going around them. But that's, you called it best. In all honesty, Hamish, you called it all, honestly, all the best that you could right there. You learn from your mistakes. Everybody's going to screw up one time or another. Just don't make the same mistake again. You make the same mistake again, that's when you end up costing yourself. And you damn sure don't want to do that, especially when, you don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation where you end up getting busted for the same damn thing that you just got through doing. You don't do that. You learn from your mistakes. That's basically what you're getting at.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, having some post-race reflection is very important as well. Self-reflection too, because you can get into a moment in a race where someone takes you out or you've been hit, and it's very easy, Jake, to put a lot of blame on the other car. There are things though you can learn from it of how you can better approach it in the future. Namely, let's take it, one of my areas of expertise in racing is endurance racing. How can you drive cleaner for a long race? Because obviously we have a lot of long races here in XCAL. How can you re-prepare yourself for a long race in future to not make the same mistakes you've made? One self-reflective point I made, 2024, I ran the Raw before the 24 in the LMP3 car, and I didn't show patience throughout that race. I decided I was going to try and go past a pack of 4 GT4 cars on the kink at Daytona before the second horseshoe, and it ended up with my car in the wall and my car completely destroyed because I tried to go past a battle pack of GT4 cars as they're battling in a point where I should not be passing them. And I didn't show patience. I didn't give up maybe 2 seconds it would have given me up by sitting behind them and just waiting. Lead of a race, and I've just thrown it away. Put those learnings into effect. 2025 rolls around, and instead I'm waiting. I'm being very, very patient. I'm waiting for the exit corners to go past people. I'm lifting at points. Not trying to push the car at a point where I should not be going past them because it is too high risk. You know what happened? I won in 2025. I didn't put the car in pit lane. I won it. This year, same result or similar mindset, although I got P3 because I made a mistake at the bus stop and I put it in the wall. But again, just showing patience. And I think that's very important in learning from those self-reflective moments. And it's not to say, it's not for me just to say I've won the Raw. Not at all. It's through action have I learned how I should be approaching a race. And I think a lot more drivers need to take that into consideration when they're racing, no matter what race type you're in. Self-reflection is one of the keys to racing. It's one of the keys to success in racing. I guarantee you Octavio Rondoletto has done a lot of self-reflecting on how he can do better on track week in and week out. That's why he's had 3 pole starts in the last 3 weeks, and that's why he's looking at getting a second race win in a row here tonight at USA International.
And, Hamish, with Octavio Rondoletto, I'll go ahead and say this as well. I mean, this is not the first series that I've seen Octavio Rondoletto or called a race that Octavio Rondoletto has been in. And Gerald Poole knows exactly what I'm talking about. He knows exactly the league that I'm talking about when I mentioned the word of Nazareth. He raced in the Nazareth Xfinity Series, and I called some of those races. He was at them with the Butcher, Latero Lamperti, a good buddy of his. I watched him race in them. I watched him race. Actually, let me rephrase that. I raced against him in a Cup Series, and it doesn't matter. I've watched this guy race. I've called races. I've raced against him. He's lights out in whatever he runs in. Apparently, he's lights out in a damn street stock. He's got the whole field 1 lap down. Literally, as we're coming up on 30 laps to go, he's got the whole field at least 1 lap down. Mogard, Bear, and Joplin, they're the only ones at this point in time that are 1 lap down on Octavio Rondoletto. Everybody else is multiple laps down. And, Rondoletto has put in the time. He has put in the practice. He has put in the work. And certainly has put in the practice and the time and the work here for the street stock race here for round 3 of the XCAL Webshop Series. He has put in the work, and damn it, it is showing.
Oh, it is. It's showing in absolute strides. It's showing in just the level of consistency that he has been providing us here tonight. With 31 laps to go when we cross the strike, it's he's been running it all night. It's just got to be 31 laps of perfect entering, perfect enters and exits of each corner, perfect apexes, but the perfect and smooth approach he needs to be able to take here tonight. It's another key word as well, smooth. Being smooth in stock car racing is a massive thing, because if you're smooth, you'll become clean. If you're clean, you'll become fast. It's all about consistency. The more consistent you can be, the more confident you're going to be, and the faster you're going to be. And that's what Rondoletto is showing us. This guy is super, super smooth in every single lap. He has run the same lap or the same line nearly every single lap of this race that he's run it, Jake. You know, when he's got no one when he's not trying to have to go past anyone, he is sticking like glue to the tread marks that are on the road right now. And he is putting the work in. He's put the work in to practice, and he's put the work in to improve, and it is showing. You know, sometimes you got to pay the piper. Well, he's paid the piper in dividends by getting himself super consistent, super smooth, and super fast in the XCAL Webshop series.
Yeah, I mean, and absolutely being able to make it happen is, you know, we're seeing out there, obviously, Gerald Poole, obviously, Octavio running a little driving for Gerald Poole. This could be Octavio's 25th win for FKR since 2024. That is outstanding. You know, for 25 wins in a 2-year period, certainly could be, you know, a little bit less than 2 years. But certainly that is outstanding to be able to make it happen. And to do it here tonight for that 25th win since 2024 in this kind of domination, you know, for Rondeletto to be able to make it happen as we are under 30 laps to go and coming up on 20 laps to go. I'm telling you, the laps have literally ticked away very, very fast. I mean, literally, we blinked our eyes right here, Hamish, and, you know, we started the race, and then out of nowhere, damn it all, we're right here at the end of this thing. That's how fast it's that it's shot around us, like we've been sitting still. As you see Matt Bear having to work back here in the back. Is that, I believe that was Jack McKee. Yes, it is, that worked his way around him. Jack obviously on a different strategy, pitted on 226, Bear pitted on 188. So Jack just tried to fire off and try to get whatever he can back out of this thing. But certainly this race has literally went by faster than, you know, honestly, you could blink your eyes.
Well, not just that. I mean, there's still some alternate strategies still to come together tonight for their final stops. Jose Godinho as well. He came in lap 174. He's right on the edge. I think he's still going to need another stop because that's 101 laps he has to do. He's definitely going to have to come in again. Richie Joplin, lap 178, he came in. So that's roughly 96 laps or 97 laps he has to go. It's a long way on fuel and tyres. I don't know if he'll make it to the end of this one. And then Joe Campbell, he put on lap 179, but he is laps down. So he may actually be okay because he's not going to make the full distance. So for Joe Campbell, he's probably all right at this stage, but where he ends up, that's a different story. But it's 23 laps to go here at USA International. Massive season coming your way still throughout the rest of this series. Of course, we've got 5 flags next week before the first off week of the season. Then it's a 5-round run through the Bullring, Irwindale Speedway for the Outer Circuit, Auto Club Speedway as well. Long Beach Street Circuit, my favourite street circuit on all of iRacing. That is going to be chaos ensued. I promise you that, Jake. It's very exciting stuff. And the Legacy Phoenix Raceway as well will get us towards our second break of the season. And then it's Kansas, Iowa, the Milwaukee Mile, Lucas Oil Raceway Park out in Indianapolis, Bristol Speedway, and Nashville Fairgrounds will end us out before the mid-season break. And will end us out before the All-Star Opens begin at Michigan at the midway point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some of those races right there that you're talking about right there, I mean, Kansas Speedway, one that I am certainly looking forward to. Auto Club, really looking forward to that one. You know, with some of these bigger tracks, making it kind of like a super speedway type race. Darlington right down there on the bottom, right there, or in June right there as well. Certainly some races that's going to look good. North Wilkesboro Speedway, well, odds are that one being July the 7th. I'm going to go ahead and call this one out, and I already talked to Jim about it. I will not be there for the North Wilkesboro Speedway race, but I should be there for the rest of them. Obviously, July the 7th being my son's first birthday, so I'm going to be with him.
I'm also excited for the New Hampshire road course as well. Obviously, it's a timed event, that one, 2 hours long.
Yeah, I see that.
So it's kind of like a mini endurance race at that circuit. And that's going to be tough. New Hampshire road course is not it's not an easy circuit. It's pretty much the full oval, but it has the dog leg that comes off the top of the oval and out to the outer part of the circuit. So it's a different style of road course, of course, but I think it's one that's going to give us some good run. I'm excited though as well for the final 2 rounds, 2 weeks in a row at Charlotte, the Legends Oval, obviously the very small oval, and then obviously the big kahuna in the full Charlotte Motor Speedway Oval. It's the start of the season, it's going to end out the season as well. That's going to be exciting. We run at Martinsville twice this season too. I don't know about running Martinsville twice, in my opinion. Jake, I actually think we should have gone to, you know, we've come to USA International. Let's go to Myrtle Beach. Let's take him to Myrtle Beach. Let's go. Imagine taking him to Homestead. Homestead would be absolute chaos, but it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? I mean, that'd be a great time. Taking to Indy as well, Indianapolis. Oh, death. Absolute chaos and death.
Wow.
Would be
I
Indianapolis.
didn't think about that. Talladega. How about Talladega? Yeah.
They'll be blowing engines down the straight. Oh, it'd be a great time. But yeah, I mean, it's an exciting calendar.
Talladega, just put it on a 75 lapper. 75 lapper at Talladega. Whoever the fuck finishes, they finish. That's, I mean, if you finish first, congratulations.
No,
you
just
survived. You didn't blow
two
your
hour
shit up.
2 hour race at Talladega. See who makes it to the end of the 2 hours. Just see who makes it. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's a fun calendar. No Daytona though. It's a very interesting one to me. No Daytona. Obviously, you said no Dega either, but a lot of good short tracks on there too. And it's short track heavy in the late part of the season. The second half of the season, it is short track heavy, so that's going to be exciting. We got 14 laps to go there here tonight, and we've still got many, many weeks to come here for you in XCAL.
Yeah, I mean, at another track, you know, that just come to my mind, you know, you want to talk about mile and a halfers, think about Atlanta Motor Speedway. I mean, you know, local boy right here, you know, from Georgia, born and raised. But either one of those Atlanta races,
you know what?
be in the super speedway or the old one.
These cars would be great at Echo Park. Modern Atlanta, these cars would be great.
Yes.
They'd be fantastic because they'd be super tight, super close. There'd be some chaos involved as well. Because in my opinion, I actually think New Atlanta is a lot more chaotic than Daytona. I don't know what it is about it, but New Atlanta is so chaotic compared to Daytona. Daytona's kind of petered out a little bit. It's slightly smaller, but it's still as fast paced. So that's what makes it fun for me. Even Nashville Super Speedway as well would have been a lot of fun too this season. But, you know, that's the beauty of iRacing. We've got so many different racing circuits, so many different choices we can put onto a calendar as well. All of them are fun, no matter where you end up going racing. And with 11 laps to go in this one tonight, we will farewell USA International Circuit for this season. And we'll move on to Five Flags next week after the next 10 laps here in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously Five Flags Speedway in Florida, much like USA International Speedway was, which is, was in Lakeland, Florida, obviously before the Amazon people come in there and said, fuck you, and then they put an Amazon warehouse here. But, I mean, you know, and then you go to Five Flags, obviously the home of the Snowball Derby right here, smack dab in the cold months. Obviously we'll be in February, you know, once that happens, but the Snowball Derby, obviously back in December when they run it. But yeah, I mean, beautiful shot. One last look right here at USA International Speedway. So unfortunate. I'll say this, as big as this place is, you can put a hell of an Amazon facility right here smack dab in the middle of it. Unfortunate that it's here.
I know.
But I mean, yeah,
you get one hell of a warehouse here. Also, I've just thought of another one that I so wish it was on the calendar. I so wish it was. Bristol Dirt Circuit would have been a great time. That would have been so fun.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one now.
Why not? Take the take the dirt street stocks there. Just send them round.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them. Yeah, have heat races.
Make it fun for us, you know.
You have all kinds. If I have all kinds of crazy shit going
Richie
on
Joplin
that one right there.
in the pit lane as we suspected he would be, so he's come back in. Jack McKee's already done his final stop of the race as well, so he's been in pit lane, but we're still waiting on Jose Godinho to come in with 6 laps to go. Whether he can make the end or not, that is the question. But for Octavio Rondoletto, the showman, he is 5 laps away from a race win here at USA International. It'll be his 2nd win in a row this season. He's already taken 3 poles to boot. How many more can he get with 5 flags next week to round out the first portion of the season before the first week off?
Very good possibility. You know, he could end up getting 3 out of the first 4, to be honest with you, because odds are, I mean, unless he just straight up, I mean, honest to God, unless he just straight up fucks up right here, he's got this one in the bag, honestly, Hamish. I mean, he's got a whole lap over over second and third place, literally coming to 4 laps to go. Jared Mogard and Matt Bear, both of them 1 lap down, rest of the field 2 laps down or more. He has literally got to screw the pooch. He's got to spin it. He's got to hit the damn wall so hard he knocks the right front off of it or something. He's got to blow it right here if he doesn't end, if he's not going to win this race. But I just don't see it happening. I mean, and what a way to do it. Honestly, the strategy, right on the money. I mean, just, the speed, right on the money. I mean, he is still faster than anybody else on the racetrack, with the exception of Richie Joplin, who's on the freshies right now. But, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do right here, and certainly helping out our good buddy Gerald Poole out there on the live chat as we're coming to 2 to go.
He is indeed. He's ready to claim some more money for himself, claim some more points as well. 2 laps left at USA International for Octavio Rondoletto. The showman has shown everyone up tonight 1 lap ahead of them as we're about to hit the white flag here, Jake, for the final lap of USA International.
Yeah, and Octavio Rondoletto, the showman, working his way off of turn number 4. He will take that white flag. Got a couple guys that's going to work their way down to the inside of him. Rich Joplin being one of them right there, as well as Hewins. But there we coming down the back straightaway. Octavio Rondoletto, the showman, showing them how to do it, taking them to the woodshed and giving them a good old ass kicking here tonight. USA International Speedway belongs to the showman Octavio Rondoletto. And finally, Jared Mogard, you see him cross the line. 1 lap down, Matt Bear, he'll hit the line as well. He will get 3rd. And Steven Rex right here trying to work his way around. He ends up getting 4th, as well with Jack McKee getting the 5th spot when it's all said and done. But the showman, Octavio Rondoletto, and how about this right here?
99 laps.
Godini.
He went Godini.
Yeah,
he went 99 laps on that stint.
Godino.
So he was obviously a few laps down on Octavio, so he didn't actually have to make the end. So he's managed to make that fuel strategy work for him here, Jake. I mean, 99 laps. He came in at 174. He finishes on lap 274. So actually, he went 100 laps on that tank of gas. That is a hell of a job. But for Octavio Rondoletto, it's a race win once again. And it is a fantastic performance here tonight for what is a phenomenal showing here out at USA International. Rondoletto P1, Mogard P2, Matt Bear in P3 in the end. Here for round 3 of the XCAL Webshop Series in 2026 from USA International Circuit. Once again, and it's been great to be here with you all once again here tonight. We appreciate you all joining us for XCAL. It's been a great night on the road for us here once again. And as we said, for Octavio Rondoletto, what a race home it was in this one. As we just get ourselves some B-roll ready to go for these post-race interviews. And we've already got Mr. Matt Bear waiting for us in...
Oh, hell.
He's gone to the XCAL race lobby, but we'll drag him all the way up. King Matthew the Bear, welcome in. P3 on the road tonight. Congratulations on the effort here this evening. We thought when Octavio Rondoletto was going to come past you to put you a lap down, we were hoping, we were praying that there may be some more beef between you both and that you were going to get the receipt in for last week's result. But no, you let him go. You played the bigger man and you pushed on and you got yourself a 3rd place. So congratulations. 11 spots up, only driver up, double-digit positions tonight. Congrats on that. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a decent car tonight, nothing outstanding. I mean, we were making good time, made up a lot of spots during that first run. We're able to gain like 5 or 6, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Octavio had that I didn't have, but it was about a 10th worth, and it paid dividends throughout the race. He had a fast car, and unlike him, I'm not just going to run somebody over to get around him. And yeah, I mean, what can you do, man? He had a rocket ship tonight, and I mean, I was out there running about 80 to 90% basically the whole entire race. I wasn't clutching any. just trying to save my tires as best as possible because here they just get ate up, and one mistake can mess up 20 laps because of your tires. So I was just trying to be as smooth as possible, and luckily we were able to come away with another top 3 finish.
Well, I mean, you were very, very smooth out there, and it was great to see. Matt, 5 flags next week. And obviously, I mentioned that we were maybe trying to anticipate some beef between you and Octavio. Are there plans for a receipt to be handed out at some point, or are you just going to let bygones be bygones for the moment and focus on forward?
Nah, I mean, if there's a chance to get a lick in and go for the win, I think he knows what to expect. I know what to expect. I just expect there to be a little bit of respect whenever we do it. That's really what it comes down to, is respect. I don't mind you moving me for the win or whatever needs to be done, but whenever you don't allow the opportunity for anything to happen, that's what really annoys me. And I mean, if I've got a car contending for the win, most definitely there's probably going to be a receipt at some point, but we've got to be within a lap of them for that to happen.
That's true. There's not much more you can do about it. But Matt, we appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming to have a chat to us as well. Best of luck at 5 flags next week. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, I got to thank Jimmy for helping me out with the setup. I was very confused and lost there for a couple days trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. Brent for putting me in the car and trusting me to go out here and run. The XCAL IAP, the Sim Racer Hub, Roasted Records, Admin Box, J Dog's Carpentry, Race Cams, and the web shop, of course. So without Aaron doing everything he does, we're not out here running, and we appreciate y'all coming out here and broadcasting these things too.
Well, thanks so much, Matthew. King Matthew the Bear, P3 here this evening, up 11 positions out at USA International. We wish him the best of luck next week out at 5 Flag Speedway, as well as Jared Mogard will join us down. We'll have a quick chat to Mr. Jake Reeves, the redneck announcer. Jake, you got Jared with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Got Jared Mogard right here with us. Jared, buddy, come home with the P2 here tonight. And, up 6 spots from where you started. Kind of, we got that graph right there. Kind of looks like, kind of the fuck's that damn game on the Price is Right, kind of where it's got that little man going up at that. Honestly, that's what it looked like, Jared. I mean, it looks like, you're trying to go up a hill. It was literally a climb all the way up to P2. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was, yeah, I know what game you're talking about. I don't know what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, somebody does.
Yeah, it was all right. We didn't have a very good heat race yesterday, so started kind of deep, and the way the fuel was, it looked like you could stretch it out to where you only had to make a 2-stop. You could make it a 2-stop race, so yeah, just kind of hung out in the back there, kind of with Matt, kind of just rode around there the first couple of rounds, and got into our windows, and kind of did the same thing the second run, but that pit stop was shorter, and we cycled up toward the front there. Uh, yeah, I mean, it was good. Had nothing for the 48. Nobody this year has had anything for him, so kind of the usual around here. But yeah, no, it was a good run, clean run. Finally got to finish the damn race. It's been a tough start to the year, so it feels pretty good to finish the race.
Yeah, I mean, and Jared, I was going to ask you about that. Obviously, I mean, with the incident that happened last week, well, actually for the past 2 weeks, from Charlotte, with Joe Campbell, and then last week at Rockingham with Joe Campbell, Campbell got busted. He's on probation and everything. Do you feel like that he should be on probation? I mean, what's your whole take with Campbell? I mean, is there beef going on right there with Campbell, or is it just you fucked up and then all of a sudden here he comes in there and he plows you? I mean, what's the whole story with all this?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we were good after Charlotte there. I just we went back and looked at it, and it looked like it was net code after Charlotte. So I thought we were all good there, and then yeah, we were we were third last week there, toward the end of the race, and he let a lap car by, and he let another lap car by who just happened to be his teammate, and then I was following his teammate through there, and he just decided to swerve right. So I don't know. Yeah, he just you hope the reviews and the penalties take care of themselves, and obviously when you're on the receiving end of that, right, and you go from a top three and a good finish to last place in a DNF, you obviously want the prize money or the points and all that stuff back that you probably should have had, but that's not how it goes. So he's on probation. It's not the first from him, but the way I look at it, there's no reason to waste time on lap traffic like that. So we'll let the officials and admins handle the penalties and deal with stupidity like that, and we'll just go out and try to finish the best we can, like we did tonight.
Jared Mogart comes home with a P2 here this evening. Jared, buddy, congratulations on fans. Appreciate your time. As always, thank your sponsors. Any shout outs?
Yes, thank you. I got to thank Twitch Race Reports and all my personal sponsors. I got to thank Aaron with XCAL, the Webshop, of course, Admin Box, JDog Carpentry, Simracer Hub, and Flaming Karma Paint Shop, and everybody else that I missed. I think you got everybody, but yeah, shout out to them. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast this year. It's always great to have a broadcast to put on a show for the fans. Hopefully they enjoyed, and yeah, congrats to the 48 on the dub.
Jared Mogard, P2 here tonight, buddy. Congratulations on fans. Appreciate your time. We'll see you at Five Flags next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That was Jared Mogard. Comes home with the P2 in the number 10. And Hamish, you know what? Hell with it. I'll let you take Octavio Rondaletto. You get the race winner here this evening.
All right, let's have a quick chat to him. The Argentinian, 2 wins in a row and the 3rd pole in a row. Here's on as well, Octavio, 25th win for Flaming Karma Racing since 2024. Congratulations. Dominant performance tonight here out at USA International. Is it just a track and setup that you really suit well to, or are you just a short track absolute behemoth? Because if you are, we're going to have to be looking after you next week out, or looking for you next week out at Five Flags, because you put on an absolute show tonight. Dominant form, only car on the lead lap at the end, and you extend a championship lead for yourself at the front end of this one.
Well, good evening, Hamish and Jake, and well, everybody watching. I love short track racing. This is one of my best combinations. I mean, this is why I'm racing here in XCAL with the streeters. This is a great combo. I'm pretty used to it. I think I had the best car tonight, and the fuel mileage was even better without saving fuel, and that's great because you don't have to back off in the group and use another guy in front of you to save fuel. You just can take off the pack and do whatever you want. And yes, that's it.
Well, I mean, a phenomenal performance for yourself here tonight once again. Obviously, dominance personified next week at Five Flags. Are you expecting a similar amount of dominance again, or are you thinking that might be a bit more of a challenge next time out at a different style of short track?
Well, I don't remember to run even one race there at Five Flags. I had different circumstances that impede me to run in that track. So that will be my first time. I think I don't want to say wrong, but I think it is. So we have to work in the setup a lot more than tonight, and see what happened. I know it's fast track compared to these ones. In the corners, more banking. I know it because of the winter there. I know for these cars.
Well, we appreciate you coming over chat to us, Octavio. It's been a massive pleasure once again. I can't believe I hadn't actually thought of this until this point, because it is one thing that we do like to do here at MotorMouth with our international drivers. Would you mind just giving us a quick rundown of this race, and then also how you're feeling about Five Flags next week in your native Spanish as well, please?
Yes. Bueno, fue una carrera muy buena donde logramos escaparnos y tener el ritmo que queríamos. Y bueno, eso te permite escaparte del grupo. Y la semana que viene va a ser una semana interesante, es una pista rápida donde quizás predomina un poco más el drafting que hoy. Y estar mantenido en el paquete, pero bueno, veremos qué pasa y ojalá tengamos la misma suerte que hoy.
Well, really appreciate that, Octavio, as well. And thank you for being a good sport about that too. It's you know, just to explain the quick reason for it, I was watching old F1 interviews from old Formula One races, and they would often at times ask questions. They'd answer them in English, and they'd say, QBs also answer it in your native language, and then they would. And I don't know, I think it's a really cool thing to have happen, especially for international representation like yourself, obviously from Argentina, and then for Jose as well from Portugal. But appreciate your time, Octavio. Best of luck next week out at Five Flags. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Well, thank you. And yes, thank you, well, Framing Karma Racing, my teammates, and Cherry Pool. Well, Byte Colino for helping me every week. Thank you to XCAL Racing, you guys, XCAL Webshop, Flaming Karma Paint Shop, Navy Show Coffee, and all the league sponsors. I mean, Series you have Shaded Carpentry, Admin Box, and everybody that put effort here to make it possible and to have these phenomenal 15 cars in the pack here in the track.
Well, thank you so much, Octavio. Best of luck next time out at Five Flags Speedway. Octavio Rondoletto, race winner here this evening. Second win in a row after his third pole position in a row as well here in the XCAL Webshop Series once again. Quick shout out too before we round up everything here tonight for all you lovely people out there, and a big thank you to all the series sponsors, of course. XCAL Racing's IAAP Individual Achievement Awards program, as well to J-Dog's Carpentry, to Admin Box as well, and Flaming Karma Paint Shop, as well to our stream sponsors too, DRE Digital Race Engineer, Track Cams by Gourmet, and the Roasted Record down in Florida as well. Go get yourself a brew and listen to some tunes down at the Roasted Record. Get yourself a coffee, get yourself some music and some records. It's a great old time down there at the Roasted Record, and you guys can go check them out down in Florida as well. Jake, anything you want to say before we round it out here tonight out at Five Flag? Oh, out at USA International before going out to Five Flags next week.
Well, I mean, damn. I mean, you're already getting ahead of the fucking ball game. I mean, we ain't even got WUSA, and we're already worried about Five Flag. Nah, seriously. I mean, you know, caution free. Short track, 275 laps. You don't see that a whole lot, honestly, Hamish. I mean, what a race it was tonight. XCAL showing, what they're about. And, there is beef out here in this league. There is beef with some of these guys. There's beef all the way around, Hamish. With all these guys, somebody's got beef with somebody. Somebody's going to get pissed off with somebody. I mean, it's just how it is. But certainly it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. Who's going to have beef with who? And it's just going to be so much shit that's going to happen all through it. But, I mean, Hamish, it is what it is, baby. It's short track racing. And I'll let you get your final take, and then we'll, unless you want to wrap this bitch up, it doesn't matter either way.
Well, no, I suppose no. It's short track racing is it's tight, it's tough, it's oftentimes it can be caution filled as well. With street stocks, obviously it's very tough with the tyre wear on those cars too. I think we're going to be in for a very similar scenario next week at Five Flags. Maybe a little bit more chaotic than this week here at USA International, but only time will tell. We've still got plenty of action to come your way though all throughout the rest of 2026 right here on the channel. Coming up next on your docket tomorrow evening here on MotorMouth Broadcasting, Full Throttle Nation brings you the Ultimate GT Championship. Myself and Jim Cunningham in the booth for that one as we go racing at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez down in Mexico City for the next round of that series as well. And then Thursday night we've of course got the Oak House Racing Truck Series, and as well the Maximum Velocity Racing League Truck Series as well. Both of those series running simultaneously. Friday evening we have the Bite Point Sports Car Championship as well, the LMP2 and GT3 action once again. I believe they're also going to Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez this week too. Saturday night we've still got...
when you say that shit.
Saturday night we've still got I2I action to come your way as well, and then we re-roll the whole week once again, as well as OGRL Coffee Cup Series 2. Appreciate everybody being here with us on MotorMouth Broadcasting. If you enjoyed your time with us and you're brand new here or you've been here for a little while, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing right here on the channel. If you want to catch more of myself in a time slot that doesn't necessarily go head-to-head with MotorMouth Broadcasting, you find me over at Infinity Broadcasting, where we've got Jang 6 Cup action coming your way with Highside Motorsports, as well as Porsche Cup action through the iRacing World Challenge, and as well V8 Veterans action too. And Saturday evening local Australian time. That's a great time to watch. It's very, very early in the morning for the US watchers out there, but you'll be in for a good time. Come and check out some of that supercars action. They go racing at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park this week. That's going to be a fun time. But Jake, this has been great once again to be with you here out at USA International Circuit. Next week we head out to Five Flags, as we said, and we look forward to seeing you all there. So this has been the XCAL Webshop Series 2026 Round 3 out at USA International. I've been Hamish Runner with Jake Reeves, the Redneck announcer once again. We thank you all for being here with us. But until next time, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.